Yeah, it was cool. Like, I mean, I texted Susan. Of course, I texted some friends of mine who got the listen to the podcast. My friend Mike texted Jen, Brian. I was like, hey, everyone, just hit the subscribe button. Maybe we'll get like 20 subscribers and shit. And like I said, it's 22 hours ago we made it. We got like 26 views, which, you know, hey, it's something. But as you were saying, it's, you know, like I never, if this episode will actually be 75, if this ever gets onto the fucking YouTube, because who knows if it'll last that long, but it's from episode 1. We said it's never initially been my premise of putting it on YouTube. So anybody listening, if they wonder why it's on YouTube now for, because like Big Al was telling me the other day, we were, you know,
I was harassing him to put it on YouTube. I'm trying to reach as many people as I can reach.
Yeah. And I was just, because like you were saying, you know what, if it doesn't last, if it gets banned or taken down, hey, so be it.
Which we know it's gonna. We know that it is coming down. YouTube is definitely not going to tolerate the bullshit that we were on.
Oh, even Selena's laughing. She goes, Chris, even before I met Selena, she goes, God, even like the first like 30 episodes before you even freaking met me, she was, some of the shit you guys have said, it's not gonna, like I told you, episode 3, just even mentioned Amber Heard, like, oh, if you say, I don't think Johnny Depp is a wife beater and stuff, the term wife beater is taken down by YouTube, which I'm not mad. It's their company. It's their guidelines. They do whatever they want to do. So, but this is why we never put the audio on there for, but like you were saying, we got the inspiration because, so he's definitely a coworker, right? That works with in the garage. So we have a coworker that's got a podcast on YouTube, and we listened to episode 1, and even you were saying we're laughing because you put it up on YouTube. It's Real Ridiculous, right? Yeah, the Real Ridiculous podcast.
Yeah. You should check it out. Whoever's listening here, listen to them. Just check them out. They're good.
And like you were saying, we're listening to it thinking like, hey, I loved everything he had to say. Them guys were funny as hell. I was laughing, and I kept like listening to how different people talk versus myself. And as I'm listening to our podcast on YouTube, and all I kept thinking was, you said it yourself, Al, like, damn, wonder how they're getting away with saying certain words such and such. I'm like, well, because right now they got like 200 views. That's why they start getting like 1,000 subscribers and shit. It's going to change it up. So
I'm waiting for when we have our official first haters that's flagging us and trying to get us blocked and banned. Yeah. I'm waiting for that. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, some people, there is also a difference. I've learned this by watching guys like Steven Crowder or different stuff. Other people have made videos, the political commentators, and they'll say there's a difference between getting your channel removed or demonetized. And the premise was for us is I never had the intention of making it monetized, because a lot of guys still make videos saying, you know what, guys, I'm on here, I'm putting my videos out, and it's like, if you want to monetize my stuff, go to like Spotify or go to like StevenCrowder.com, or even actually Joe Rogan now. They still put up clips from his show onto YouTube, and whether they monetize or not, he's getting paid by Spotify. So a lot of people still have their stuff on YouTube. It's just like, it's too raunchy, but like they won't remove it, but they'll make sure you're not getting paid for it. I'm like, okay. But that's like you said, I put it right on the description. Hey guys, come to Buzzsprout, join our Facebook group. I got a Twitter going, Instagram. Nothing too low-key, just for most part now, kind of just me and Al. So we're trying to get as many people as we can. And like you're saying, the guys who made the Real Ridiculous, if they want to come down, want to hang out and shit, I'm all for that. Or going to hang out their place, have some beers, and Oh man. So how's your week been?
My week has been exceptionally good.
Really?
This week I have been a higher level of lazy.
Oh, Jesus
like I was on some shit this week that my parents would fucking be disgusted with if they saw the shit that I was carrying on with this week. But sometimes it's like that. Everybody goes through that moment where it's like, man, I ain't trying to work that hard this week. I'm just trying to make my paycheck and chill at the house, the family, and meet with my friends and have a good time, laugh, joke, drink.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just all I want to do. My life doesn't give me a lot of those moments, so whenever they give me one of those moments, I take full advantage.
Yeah. Oh, I've always said there's nothing different. I mean, nothing wrong with having. Everyone does a lazy day, or even for a couple of days, lazy days. It's just versus like I've had a lazy decade. Shit.
I would love to have had a lazy decade. It's my fantasy life.
God. So. Well, I did talk to her before I was dropping off at work, and she got like, not defensive, but I was saying to her, honey, I wish you had time on a podcast, but Al's here and her work schedule. But something I was texting yesterday, she got kind of heated about this. And I said, well, you know what? You can't be here yourself. I'm not going to speak on Selena's behalf or Susan or anybody. But I said, you know, situations like this, we've talked about that I try being as central and neutral as possible. And
I always pick a side.
Yeah, well, you do. Like I mentioned definitely you about this. I was like, I want to hear Al's opinion. But well, I mean, we do like playing for the most part devil's advocate and seeing things from both angles. But it was this thing where she follows this girl, and who knows if she'll hear this one day. But there's different Twitch streamers out there. But this girl named Sweet Anita, and she has Tourette's. Now I don't know the level of Tourette's. I've only listened to Selena listen to clips and stuff, but yesterday she was just in a pissed off mood. She looks at me, she's like, you know what, men? I was like, hey, don't look at me with this all men shit. Like, I can't stand men sometimes. I'm sitting here trying to upload audio to YouTube. Like, what the fuck did I do? Like, sometimes it's just men in the comments. I was like, well, okay, what's going on? What happened? And she was just saying, like, how the whole thing with women stuff and being on Twitch. And I said, as I was dropping her off right now for work, I said, honey, we'll talk about this. And there's always two sides to the fucking story. And we've talked about this before with the double standard that, listen, I don't think, yes, that guys, you should buy a girl a fucking beer or a dress or something and expect to get laid. It's not like that. It's not a business, unless it's a business transaction. But if you do nice things for a female, you're not entitled to fucking get pussy. We know that and stuff. And even Selena's like, I admit that on the opposite spectrum, that if a female is also flirting with a guy and leading him on, then don't get pissed off when he's expecting to get laid. If it's a pure platonic thing, it's whatever. So now it's coming down to, with these platforms, these Instagram influencers and TikTok and Twitch and shit like that, when you keep giving women fucking gifts, whether it's $5 here or sending them flowers in an inbox, whatever you're fucking doing, these females, it's like, you don't have to give these guys anything, but you don't have to accept it as well. So what she was saying is like girls like her, she's like, well, I get upset when the guys in the comment section say things like, oh, show me your tits or something, or they're harassing her, or this and that. And I'm like, well, it's a fine line, dear, because I said, right now, what are you wearing? You're wearing like a nice white shirt and stuff. You're wearing like, a black coat. I'm like, you wearing a low cut shirt? She goes, no, I have to go to work. I'm like, okay. I was like, but if you made a Twitch account, right? Do you have the choice to wear a low cut shirt or wear a regular shirt? She goes, well, if Selena's like, if I want to wear a low cut shirt, I could. And I'm like, you could wear a low cut shirt. In fact, if you ever want to make a Twitch account, I'll help you. I encourage you to wear a low cut shirt and have your fucking chest hanging out. However, this is 2021. You are an adult woman. This is also why my 14-year-old, I don't give him a Facebook account because he's not ready for this yet. At this point in time, with social media being out there as long as it has, if you're going to hop on a platform, whether it's Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, blah, blah, whatever, Rumble, shit, if you want to sit there and constantly wear a low-cut shirt, you better expect guys to be talking about your titties, because there's a reason you're wearing a low-cut shirt in the first place. We've said this in the fucking gym. Now, I've never one time went to the gym and started harassing women, commenting stuff, and talking about their ass. But, me and Big House said this plenty of times that at some point, though, you are fucking starving for attention, because I was like, Selena, you and me have been to the gym together. We worked out together. You wear a certain outfit to the gym. Very, I think, classy, moderate. She wears, a workout outfit. Your fucking chest isn't hanging out. Your thong isn't hanging out. I can't see all your fucking parts. I go to the gym, I wear, a brown fucking hoodie, black t-shirt, brown or gray sweatpants. At some point, when you go on these platforms and you are a Twitch streamer, you do dress a certain way because you want attention and you want donations and shit. So there is some level of harassment that's going to come with that lifestyle. And if you're going to create a image or a personality or any kind of a job on fucking Twitch, by goddamn well now, you should know what to expect. So I'm just like, and I said to Selena, almost like I can't quote fucking Big Al, let him say it himself, but I would just fucking say that, honey, if any time period you don't like what's going on in your channel, you can always quit. No one's stopping you from turning your Twitch off, from going out and getting a real job. Every job you go to, me and Al deal with this shit, that there's things we like and don't like. But if you work fast food, if you work retail, if you're a hairdresser, customer service, you know what you're going to get going into these occupations and stuff. And a lot of these fucking girls, they have guys in the comment section that are assholes. And almost like what I would say before, Selena's like, well, these guys should be held accountable. I said, honey, how? I was like, what is the accountability? If some dude wants to hop into a chat room and be an asshole, is there a law for being an asshole? I mean,
here's the thing. The thing is that most of these guys that hop on there and say these stupid things, they're just trolls. They say it because they know there's no repercussion. They're not going to get into trouble. Nobody could track them down. Nothing's going to happen. But it's one of them things where I definitely feel like when you go online and you dress a certain way and act a certain way, you got to be like expectant of certain things to happen, right? So I'm not saying you deserve as a woman to be harassed. I'm just saying that there are people who harass women online. Like, that's part of the gig. This is one of the things you signed up for. Yeah, I'm not saying that you like you deserve to be harassed. Just understand that that's what comes with the territory. That's like if you become a celebrity, if you become a movie star or a rock and roll singer, you have fans, and paparazzi is now 24/7 stalking your life because they want to know everything about you 24/7. I guarantee you 99.9% of celebrities hate that shit, but they understand that they signed up for that as part of the gig, right? So it's the same thing with you. You get on Twitch, you wear something sexy and skimpy, and men start to hop in your messages and say stupid shit in your comment section. That's what you signed up for. Like, of course you don't like it. That's understandable, but it comes with the territory. Like, that's just how that goes.
Yeah,
there ain't no way around that. You know. So
yeah, because
you know what I hate. I hate when women love to do this all men thing, or this is because it's like how you like. Why does she get no criticism for the choices she's made as a person? Like, you decided that this is what you wanted to do, but you want to somehow do this, and you don't want the rules of life to apply to you.
Yeah,
you know, you want to do this, and you want to never have a bad day, never be harassed, and never like that would be great in, you know, a world that you could create for yourself. But in the world where we all coexist, you're gonna run into assholes because they exist by the millions, literally. Like, so yeah, you don't like the stupid shit that men hop in and say, but there's nothing to do about it. That's like, consider all these super beautiful men that get constantly harassed by women or constantly have stupid shit said to them. They don't get to run around saying, oh, all women, look at what these women, they don't, right? So why the double standard? All of a sudden you're a woman and you wear so skimpy shit and you get on and your whole livelihood is selling sex appeal and appealing to guys that play video games, you know, because men and boys play fucking video games at this point. But it's like you try to appeal to a certain niche audience and the weirdos come out and you're upset. But that's part of it. That's just part of it.
Yeah.
You gotta accept it. Ain't no way around it.
Like, it wasn't verbatim what you said, but I kind of slid into what you said in the past where like these arguments you've had with women out there, you know, well, men should hold themselves accountable and men should do things. And you're like, yeah, but the thing is, perverts, rapists, pedophiles, blah, 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 they exist. So this whole thing, we're like, and same in the comment section. Well, in the YouTube comment section, the Twitch comment section, these guys shouldn't so-and-so. And I'm like, but they exist.
This is the thing. I don't get the it's almost like women can't grasp the concept. And let me not even say that, because that is an unfair thing. These people that complain about the weird men that do this shit, that blame all men for the shit that weird men do, it's like those particular women can't grasp the concept of these weirdos exist. Like the reason that we create laws and stuff to protect you from those weirdos and those monsters is because they exist. They're real. Like, this is why we created stuff to protect you from them, because they are out there. So it's like, how do you, like, what's the point of, oh, look at what this man is doing, and now it's, oh, look at what all men do because this guy's a weirdo, right? Like, what's the whole point of that? I don't even get that. But that's something that we've been dealing with forever. Like, everybody does that. Everybody likes to generalize and blame a whole entire group for something that a handful of people are doing. That's just the way it goes. But it gets crazy when you have like a million people platform, a million viewer platform, and then you're like putting that message out. That's a whole different vibe, because now you got all your viewers are in tandem connected to what you're saying and what you're feeling, and now they're feeling that way. You know, and now they're all feeling like, oh, look at what men are doing, and it's crazy.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying towards, like, you know, these things, whether you like it or not, they're out there. But like, when in terms of like, well, if you're in a comment section, you tell, because I've heard different stories that, you know, these things happen. Oh, this guy's creepy, he's stalking me. If some guy shows up at your house, no doubt, I 100% agree that put the fucker in jail. There should be charges pressed, etc. But if some guy hops in the comment section, it's like, hey, show me your tits, or, or you're hot, or I think you're sexy. It's like, you can definitely ban them. There's ways to remove people from your account, but like it said, I was like, Selena, do you ever think it's going to stop? And also, as I said, and she knows this, I'm like, honey, me and Al said this even before we even started this fucking podcast, and we understand as adults that, look, we just fucking put this podcast for the first time on YouTube, okay? It's literally only 23 hours old. I'm expecting any second for the fucking comment section to light up and just slay me and Al and Elliot and Carlton Jr., anybody.
That being said, I got two things that I got to say. I don't know how many people are listening. I don't even know how many people this will reach. But for the two people that I know for a fact are listening, one, my homeboy, who kind of checked me a couple days ago for some shit that I said last week. And he doesn't want me to, because I kept using him kind of like a trope to explain situations.
Yeah.
And he doesn't appreciate it. So he kind of called me out on it. He's like, I don't want you doing that shit no more. This is my homosexual friend who I kept referencing and kept saying I have this gay friend or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like, he told me, he was like, you know what it sounds like when you say I have a gay friend? It sounds like a racist guy that says I have a black friend, right? So I was like, fuck. He was like, yeah. He was like, I don't want you using me as a trope. I don't want to hear this, like half of the shit, like a lot of shit that I've said that he told me, he repeated that I've said sounds tacky. So I apologize to him, and I won't be doing that anymore. And another thing, my homegirl kind of called me on some bullshit again, right? The last episode I was ranting about 15-year-old girls in bikinis on my TikTok page, right? And I was like, I don't like it. I don't want to see it.
Okay.
And she was like, that's kind of hypocritical, because when you were a few episodes back, when you were asked about the girls who did the movie on Netflix that was causing all controversy.
Yep.
And I was saying, I was kind of defending them, like you shouldn't sexualize them and you shouldn't berate them and you shouldn't kind of try to kill their career just because the intent that people are trying to add to the movie isn't the intent that these people had when they were creating it, nor is it the fault of the young actresses for how people perceive whatever they perceive, right? Mm-hmm. So my friend was trying to call me a hypocrite. She kind of called me a hypocrite because she's like, nah, this 15-year-old girl popped up on your page and you want to send videos to her father and all types of shit. And I was like, I agree with what she said because she called me on it and I understand her point of view. My thing is, this is where I'm going to stand my ground on this, is that fine, as a 15-year-old girl that wants to develop into an independent woman, she has the right to do whatever she wants with her body. The thing is, me just don't want it on my For You page. And I have not yet figured out a way to fucking block it completely.
Yeah.
Because no matter what I do, no matter if I click not interested or I try to whatever, or I, block that particular person, I get others. And I said, because of that, it just rubs me the wrong way. It just puts me in a place where I get angry and it's like, I'm tired of fucking seeing 15-year-olds and I'm fucking slamming my phone, the buttons on my phone, trying to do something about it, but I can't. So to be clear, it's not that I am attacking girls or saying that they shouldn't be allowed, which I get why it came off that way. I just don't want to see the shit. That's what it is. Like, I'm personally not interested in 15-year-olds in bikinis, whatever, underwear and all that shit. I don't want to see it. I have no interest. So it gets under my skin when it pops up on my shit all the goddamn time.
No, well, you're right. Well, the cutest thing even just got referenced a few times this week, which I'll talk to you about in a minute, but the whole Chapelle thing, that some people said, well, we find it kind of funny where, the controversy, like Netflix, they're defending Chapelle, but yet they have cuties on, and some people are like, well, I cancel my Netflix because of cuties, and I still came back to what Big Al said when it came out like 6 months ago, and we had the talk with Carlton and Karen, said there's a difference, and I still felt like watching cuties myself, and people nowadays would say, oh my God, you watch cuties and you support it? I said, no, there's watching it and supporting it versus watching it and understanding a message. Okay, just like American History X. If you watch American History X, there's a message that Norton's character is doing, and Edward Furlong about the whole racists and stuff, and Nazis and shit like that.
But some people can't get past the racism. And that's the problem. Like, it's the same thing here. And
that's the same with cuties. Some people are like, well, you're watching a film that's like, it's promoting sexualizing young girls. And I'm like, that's not the message that I got and Al didn't get. The message I was getting is just like, there are girls out there that are 10, 11, 12, 13 years old that are on TikTok and that are fucking worshiping Cardi B and whoever, and they're emulating this shit.
And this is my thing. Like, to hone in on that point of when you listen to somebody like Cardi B, understand that Cardi B understands the kind of music that she makes, right? Cardi B doesn't let her own daughter listen to her music.
Thank you.
Because she understands what she's making. It's not, Cardi B plays a role in your children having access to her music, but she only plays that role insofar as she creates the content, right? If you want her to be responsible for what your kids listen to, you need to take an active role as a parent as well. Like, you also need to pay attention to what your kid, you can't sit back, take a passive role and let Cardi B raise your kids and then be surprised when your kids turn out a certain way and then be mad at Cardi B because your kids are a certain way when all you did was stand around and do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's where I'm on that. Like the whole concept of people being mad at cuties. I am not having an argument with anybody about cuties if you didn't watch cuties. I watched cuties. I got the message. It's like you can't have an argument with me about why you condemned it, but you've never seen it. Like I'm not even going down that road with you. I'm not.
Yeah.
Because if you watch it, there's no way you watch cuties and come away from that movie feeling like this movie is here to promote pedophilia or any of that. There is no way you link the two if you watch the story. Like, right? If you've linked those two things together without watching the story, only hearing the concept of, oh, well, they had young girls dressed sexy. If that's all you heard and that was enough for you to say, I'm against this movie, then that's a you problem. Like, that is a you thing.
Yeah, and you're right in the fact that, but there's plenty of people out there that they did exactly that. And I listened to you as two civil adults. I'm like, you know what? I want to hear, because like you said, I never heard about this shit until you told me about it. Then I started hopping in social media and seeing the big controversy. I'm like, you know what? If Netflix has it, if this isn't categorized as fucking child porn, which it wasn't, I'm not going on fucking Pornhub kidversion.com or some bullshit. I want to see it's on fucking Netflix. Let me sit down for myself and watch it. And and I wanted to see it for my fucking self. Like, and
then what kills me is like they don't. If you watch Cutie legitimately has a good ass moral attached to it. Like it's a good story, a good tale that's told.
Yeah.
It's not like TikTok where all you get is a bunch of children in half naked gyrating to music. That's not what's going on. It's not a contextless sexualization of young girls. That's not what happened. It's a legitimate story of something that happens in this girl's life and stuff that she's going through. And realistically, I promise you, there are millions of girls in countries all over the world that went through the exact same, well, not the exact same, but very similar circumstances and situations. So to condemn them, and you know what's weird? Like half of the people that would condemn it are the same kind of people that support pedophilia in other aspects of life.
Yeah.
Like I remember all the stuff, like all these coaches that was arrested and connected to gymnastics. And I talked about this in previous episodes. And there was a point in time where there was seriously considering, all these restraints and stuff on the people that get hired to do gymnastics and gymnastics itself, and it being like a single gender coach thing where it was like wild stories being told. Like the powers that exist never took it seriously. Like the powers that could control an entire organization, they never took it seriously. But if you could have went online and you could have found thousands of people that were calling for all types of weird restrictions and weird, control to be placed on gymnastics. And it as ridiculous as it was to request that to happen, it came out of a place of a lot of parents being frustrated with the molestation of young children by coaches and by people in that whole entire organization, that corporation that's called gymnastics, that was happening to young boys and young girls that nobody was doing anything about, that people knew about and just didn't do anything to protect the kids. So these people were upset, so they were calling for absurd things. Nobody took them seriously. A lot of people didn't even hear about it. But there was pushback from the people that supported gymnastics 100%. They were like, nah, we ain't doing that. We don't want to hear any part of it, because they wanted that institution to exist. I'm not for it or against it. I don't have a dog in a fight one way or the other. I'm just saying a lot of those people that would support that thing that had a lot of molestation of children happening are the people that would stand against something like cuties, right? It's the same thing with church. All the people that preach about how, we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't do that, they're a part of the church, the concept of church, the whole organization, the different denominations, the Catholic Church being at the head of it with all these popes, and these are not all these popes, but all these bishops and preachers and fathers or whatever their titles are, that have molested young boys for literally centuries with zero consequences and ruining the lives of young boys because these boys get molested and grew up, feeling a certain way, behaving a certain way, having it affect their entire life because they've been violated in a way that they can't control and don't really understand. And like, it ruined them. A lot of them were ruined. Some of them overcame it. Some of them became, a certain type of person because of it, but it ruined a lot of people. And nobody did anything about it. Nobody is doing anything about it. This thing is continuing with no penalties. Yeah. And people support the church, right? And knowing what's happening, people still support the church. But these are the same people that are like, oh no, these girls on a movie, I can't do this. This is not something I like or I want to be a part of. And I don't get how in one aspect it's fine, but in this aspect it's not. How do you, either you're against this thing all the way or you're for it, but you can't pick and choose when you want to jump in and jump out. It's crazy to me that people do that.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right on that. And that's the thing. It's almost like Chappelle's part where they said, Carlton said it, and lots of people are commenting about, did you guys not listen to the last 5 minutes about the eulogy he gave and the trust fund he set up? And
they didn't care.
Yeah. And so, same with Cuties. I watch Cuties, and there's a lot, like you were saying, when I watch them, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on in this movie that nobody's talking about, the religious aspect, the fucking peer pressure.
It's her mother was a devout Muslim, and was it was the whole dynamic of everything that happened. The movie was a good movie. It told a good story. This thing is an award-winning movie all across the world, except when it got here.
Yeah.
It got here, and people fucking lost their collective minds. Yeah. And it's the same people that are doing bullshit in their regular lives as trying to condemn a movie because a girl had a sexy thing on. Yeah. Why? Even if you consider what she's wearing sexy, is it doing something for you when you're scared or what's happening? Because you shouldn't see a 30-second clip of a movie and it trigger you to the point of, I gotta boycott this movie, I gotta boycott Netflix, I gotta flag everything about it, we gotta cancel it, we gotta what's happening here? That shit is insane to me.
What's funny, it's like you're saying that, I wonder how many people they're average over cuties, but then ask the same people, hey, just curious, does your dog got a TikTok account? just curious. Exactly. Have your kids ever heard a Cardi B song or a Nicki Minaj song? Just wondering, do your kids have access to YouTube? Since you're so outraged by cuties, right? Just wondering.
And this is part of my point. I promise you, all these people, it's fake outrage. It's the most disingenuous shit. It's why right now I go online sometimes. Sometimes when I'm at work in the morning, I'll turn on YouTube and just let it play in the background while I'm working. Yeah. And I watch certain videos, some forums on different talks, and every now and then I my YouTube will randomly bring up somebody who's complaining about they're complaining about Joe Biden, right? Yeah. And I feel like people that complain about Joe Biden right now are very disingenuous. Joe Biden, I'll say this. I'll be the first to say this out loud. Joe Biden cannot win election again unless Donald Trump runs in 2024. This is nobody that's Democratic or progressive is happy with Joe Biden. Joe Biden is essentially a Republican, right? Yeah. He's not pushing any of the agenda that the Democrats or the progressives want. He's on board with everything he's done has made Republicans happy. Yet still, everybody that I talk to that's a Republican is mad at Joe Biden, but they're only mad at him because he beat out Donald Trump, and they were beholden to Donald Trump for some reason. Yeah. That's the reason they hate him. But if it was based on policies, they should love him, right? If it's based on policies, they should love him because everything he's doing is essential. And I get tied in knots about people who are just I'm angry at this now, but I loved it then.
Yeah.
Like they love the Donald Trump, but hate Joe Biden, but they're essentially kind of doing the same shit, right? And it's like the whole I could like something at this moment in time, but I could vehemently hate it 30 seconds later because a different person is doing it. Is the kind of, I just hate it's like, remember you and I had a conversation that I was talking about baby seals. I was like, it's two guys standing in the fucking Arctic and they're killing baby seals. And everybody's like, well, this guy, I hate him. Like, I hate his guts because he's killing baby seals. But this guy over here, I love him because he's killing baby seals. And you're standing there like, wait, what? And that's essentially the argument you get with people that's like, I hate cuties, but I love the bishop in church that touched my son. Like I hate cuties, but I love it when I send my kid to gymnastics and they rape him. Like I can't. It's weird to me, the dynamic of people that will like essentially hate one thing but love another aspect of it when it's essentially the same crazy thing.
Yeah, no, and but I agree. Like, not, I don't know your friend or anything, but I would say as a parent of a 14-year-old, even 2 years ago when I forgot what TikTok's been around, has it been 2 or 3 years? I'm not even sure, but
I don't even know how long it's been around.
I'll just say for argument's sake, even now at 14, if my 14-year-old say, "Hey Dad, I made TikTok and I'm gonna put a video of me dancing in a thong in my bedroom," watch my fucking reaction. Like seriously, like
that'll be the minute he loses his phone privileges.
Like I mean, guys, it's a point where look, I've watched Magic Mike, I watch Magic Mike too. I did not want my 10-year-old watching Magic Mike with me and have my 10-year-old son or 12-year-old fucking son copying Magic Mike on TikTok, dressing like Magic Mike characters. So if I had a daughter, it'd be the exact fucking same thing. So
facts.
But and so like your buddy, and this will always become the endless controversy about anything, whether it's race relations or gay stuff. Like you said, your friend, people do that a lot. Well, I have a black friend or I have a gay friend. Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough. But even like Selena, she's at work. She's like, Chris, I have, multiple gay coworkers. Her entire job is talking about Dave Chapelle. And not a single fucking person at her job, black, white, lesbian, gay, trans, nobody at her job is pissed off by Dave Chappelle. Like so this will come down to it. If 5 gay people are offended by Dave Chappelle, but 5 gay people say we loved it, who's right?
My thing is this. I stand on this 1,000%. I am not mad at the people who are upset. You are entitled to feel the way you want to feel.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at the people who support Dave Chapelle. You're entitled to feel how you want to feel. It becomes problematic when you see people that feel a certain way, that have a big platform, now turn their platform into something where I am going to target Dave Chapelle. That's the kind of thing that I feel like now you're trying to affect his livelihood. I mean, granted, he's a millionaire. He doesn't need people like me to worry about him. He doesn't even know who I am, right? But I like Dave Chappelle's product that he makes. I like his comedy. Yep. And what you're trying to do is essentially deprive me of his art form that I enjoy because you feel a certain type of way. And that's not fair because I can't come into your life and decide, well, I don't like ketchup, so you can never eat ketchup on your burger again, right? It's kind of a crazy concept. And this is essentially what they're trying to do. They're trying to like, oh, we're going to take Dave Chappelle down. But why really? Yeah. Because like I said, I've not met anybody who said I watched his stand-up and I came away from it feeling like I'm against the LGBTQ community. If anything, you watch his stand-up and it makes you like, I'm an avid supporter of that community, right? I came away from that feeling like I should do more to help the community, to be on their side, to be an ally, right? And to the people in the community that are mad, I just want to know what exactly it is that's pissing you off. Pinpoint it and give me an explanation. You don't owe it to me, but I would like to have it just out of curiosity so I could understand better the thing that's taking you to this place. Because it'll make it so much easier. If I understand your outrage, it'll make me say to myself, okay, maybe Dave Chappelle did cross a line and I didn't really get what the line was, but now that I know what it is, I could be a better ally. I could say, you know what? Maybe Dave went too far on this one. It's like right now, I just don't see it. I don't see what it is.
Yeah.
Right. So the people that are upset, it's your right to be upset. Nobody should try to tell you don't be upset. Your feelings are valid, just as valid as mine.
Yeah.
And I just want to know what it is exactly that's triggering you, because I didn't see it, and the people that I know that are part of that community, they didn't see it either. Like everybody I know personally likes Dave Chapelle. Like they like his stand. Like I know there are times in his career where he did a stand-up and it bombed, but I just haven't seen it. Yeah. So it's like, I like his brand of comedy. I do.
Yeah. And it's like what I would say, I remember this probably like a year or so ago, and one person, I was in a Screen Junkies group, and we got into this whole big thing about Blazing Saddles. I'm like, dude, based on your comments, your age, and your profile pic, and my profile pic, Blazing Saddles even came out before I was born. But it's just like when people like that say, well, Blazing Saddles should be banned. I'm like, well, why? Well, and the damage it does and the harmfulness, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, since I've been born alive 30 some odd years, you show me who watches Blazing Saddles and going out beating up black people or something. But I'm just like, if you don't like it, as at one point, at any point, whether it's Blazing Saddles or Chappelle's old stand-up or Eddie Murphy or anything, at what point is anybody making you watch this shit? But why are you depriving me or showing it to my kids or my friends? Why should, like, for instance, with Always Sunny, there was episodes of Always Sunny when Elliot was here. I couldn't find. I had to go through third-party websites because they were banning certain episodes of Always Sunny, of like Seinfeld, of Archer, fucking like Scrubs. And I'm like, why can't I watch an episode of Always Sunny, which was on FX, which is on cable television? Because, well, I found it offensive. Okay, and you don't have to watch it, but don't deprive me and Elliot or my girlfriend from watching something that we enjoy. We're not out there advocating murdering people. It's literally just comedy specials. So it's one thing if you're watching snuff films or some shit.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, I tell this to people all the time. I am an avid believer in free speech. I am an avid believer in your freedom to express yourself. I don't support censorship. The only time you will ever hear me saying that something should be banned or the rights of a person to speak should be taken away is when that thing is dangerous. When I find somebody that's actually saying, I want my people to go out and kill these people, like if you like along those lines, like it's an extreme example, but that's where I'm at the extreme. Like when people are actually advocating for dangerous things to happen, when you're advocating for violence or you're saying go out and do these things, then that's when I say that you should have your shit shut down because you're promoting something dangerous.
Yeah.
But other than barring you doing something that could actually jeopardize lives, I don't want things banned. Like, so if somebody puts, like when there's an episode of a show on TV, especially something like Always Sunny, that's a wildly popular show when it was on TV.
Yeah.
I still like it. I still find it funny. I can't think of any episode where they did something where people were like, yo, I'm going to go out and kill a particular group of people because of this episode of Always Sunny. You know, it's like, if one person in their deranged minds came off and did something like that, I would think it was sad, it would be a tragedy, but it would still be considered a one-off. Like, it's not like groups of roving bands are riding across the country doing these things because they watched an episode, and it's like people gotta be able to draw the line at a certain point. Well, like, if you hate it that much, you don't like it, you don't enjoy it, don't watch it. Leave it alone. But to try to get shit banned or taken away without it being legitimately a threat to people's lives, you're doing too much.
Yeah. And in terms of like, and this will always be the problem with comedy, is context is everything. Like you're saying, everything we've said on the podcast, on the YouTube comment section, people would just take out sound bites. And in terms of Always Sunny, the episodes that were banned was like when he did the whole, I think it's fucking hilarious, like when he did Lethal Weapon 5. And the premise was, fucking Danny Glover and Mel Gibson. Obviously, you got friggin' Mac and Dennis are two white guys. So at one point, Dennis dresses up as Dennis or Murtaugh, which is Danny Glover, who is black. So he's wearing makeup because they're low-budget morons dressing up like Danny Glover. No different than what Robert Downey did in fucking Tropic Thunder. But these episodes are banned for being too, like, racially insensitive. It's like, how is him mimicking Danny... Okay. So, yeah, apparently him mimicking Danny Glover and Murtaugh is too racially insensitive. It's like, well, Lethal Weapon, that's the premise. It's a low-budget, stupid spinoff with two idiot fucking people, and goddamn, but,
That's one of them things where I say, people are entitled to their feelings. If you thought it was offensive and you hated it, that's fine. But understand that the way you feel right there, everybody isn't going to feel that way. Everybody isn't going to feel like, regardless of their race, everybody isn't going to feel like this was super offensive. And some people are going to find it funny and some people are going to want to laugh. And to the percentage of people that found it insulting, that made a move to get it banned or whatever, I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like sometimes it's overreach, right? Just sometimes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people actually reached out to that company, to like whoever owns the rights to it, and was like, we need y'all to not play these episodes, or if these companies just collectively said, well, we're terrified of being the next people in trouble, so we're gonna like make a preemptive move and pull these episodes before people get agitated by them. Even if that's the case, still we're at a place where everything has become so touchy and so sensitive that people are preemptively trying to, modify their shows to spare other people's feelings, especially in situations where you don't have to, because like most of us are adults. Like most of the people that got into that show are grown-ups.
Yeah.
We're adults. We understand that this is a joke. Like these are jokes. This show was never about them being racist or doing racist shit. It was just about them inadvertently being so stupid that they did something that was that's the premise of the story.
Yeah.
But people just, I don't know, everybody's just super sensitive about everything.
Like, what's funny, if you go back and Always Sunny is actually, they had signed on for 3 more seasons, good for them, and I'll watch them. The very first episode of the entire 15 seasons, the very first episode's called The Gang Gets Racist. That's episode 1, and it's showcasing how fucking dumb all of them are. It's like, freaking 4 white people from Philadelphia. And as the show goes on, you just see that. But like Seinfeld, I love about these characters in that 15 seasons, none of them change. They're all pieces of shit. They're all scumbags. They're all either homophobic, racist. They're all morons. And most people like that are that. They're just idiots. And we've said before, how many people are fucking racist or homophobic or misogynistic? And they're just, at some point, you're telling yourself that, like, how much of it is that you're racist because you're smart, or you're just really fucking dumb. Like
that's the thing. Like, honestly, there are some very sophisticated, very intelligent people that have, like, despite the fact that their IQ is high and their level of intelligence is high, they still choose to be racist based on nothing other than, the desire to feel superior to somebody, right? But then you have those people, like, and this is like the vast majority of racist people that are just dumb. Like, if you watch some of these people that protest, like some of the fucking, neo-Nazis and skinheads and Ku Klux Klan people that go out and protest, and you see them holding up signs that are spelt wrong, they're using wrong words, they can't make it.
Remember jeans?
I remember, like, they can't make a complete sentence, they have no understanding of grammar, much less how to use it, they can't spell properly. Like, these guys are fucking morons. They dropped out of school in, like, the 2nd grade and spent fucking the rest of their lives inbreeding. Like, these people are stupid because they're trying to keep the race pure, and we don't want to date Hispanics or Asians or blacks or Jews or Indians or Native Americans or fucking Middle Eastern. We don't want to date any. So all we want to do is inbreed in our little hovel in the fucking back of the country somewhere until our cousins are literally, identical to us in every way because we are fucking one single genetic gene pool. Like, these are the people that go out and, like, try to have, like, these massive protests. Like, they're dumb, so you can't take them serious. But it's the sophisticated ones that you got to worry about, because even though they're smaller in number, they're very lethal at what they do. They're focused.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they're stupid and violent,
They're stupid. Yeah, stupid. Well, you got to be really stupid to, like, constantly revert to just being violent.
Yeah.
Because if you can't talk your way out of a situation or reason your way out of a situation, and you feel in your mind, I got to overpower these people to get my point across, that's what leads to, like, massive conflict. This is why you got people in the country right now calling for a civil war without really having any understanding of what war is really like. They don't understand the hell
especially
that war
a
is.
Civil war.
And what's crazy is the very notion of you don't really get it if you haven't lived through it. You haven't had families. We weren't alive for the Civil War, right? And we don't understand how brutal the Civil War really was, right? And this is why these people that cry for war, like, I can tell you this: I've never experienced going to war, but there were times in my life where I've watched gangs fight against each other, right? And I could tell you from those moments that literally only lasted seconds. It was like, maybe you got a fight that lasted a minute and change, where you see 2 groups of people, you got like 10 people over here, 12 people over here, they get into a fight, and they're like, people are stabbing people, and people are hitting each other in the heads with sticks, rocks, bottles, and in those few seconds, you see how crazy this shit is. Yeah. Now imagine this on a nationwide scale, right? Where now you have to involve, how are we going to feed troops? Because now we need resources, we need weapons, we need food, and we need water to constantly feed troops that are engaged in a war across the nation. Yeah. Like, you motherfuckers have no idea how crazy a civil war would be. But yet still you have people like, oh man, stop the steal. Biden fucking won, and we don't accept it because we know Trump's supposed to. We need a civil war to rectify this problem. You're fucking stupid. Yeah. You're a fucking moron.
Yeah, I've quoted that a few times in the past. Like, remember, I still love to this day, which that'll be another movie we review, is The Siege with Denzel and Bruce Willis. And Bruce Willis was the army major. And at one point, he's telling guys, he's like, before we do this, I implore you, I'm begging you as a military man, like, you have no idea what it's like to have tanks down fucking cities, civilian streets and shit. You know, it's like, and that's the whole premise was, you know, the propaganda and Muslims and stuff and what they're going through. But even Bruce Willis was like, I don't, you know, he did not want to do this because, yeah, he's like, having troops walk, if you imagine waking up outside, you know, getting a cup of coffee and grabbing your fucking newspaper, go outside and there's about 200 fucking troops marching by your front door, like, oh shit. And you're hearing full constant like guerrilla warfare going on in your backyard and playing Xbox and guys are fucking throwing grenades across the street. Like, yeah,
this is the thing when any particular municipality becomes a war zone, you know what that means? Civilian lives are in danger. Oh yeah, because the enemy doesn't care about the civilians, and the army that's supposed to defend the civilians are strapped between trying to protect you and trying to kill the enemy, and they're going to prioritize killing the enemy, despite what you've seen on movies and heard in whatever fantasy life you lived in, where people like, I'm going to sacrifice my life to make sure these women and children live. You're going to be an afterthought, because the first thing you're going to do is make sure we could maximize the efficiency of us to kill the enemy and to not just willy-nilly lose troops that we can't readily replace. Now imagine when that's happening, and that's the mindset within your own country, where the people that are fighting each other are from the same fucking nation. They're the same citizens against citizens. Like, it's fucking stupid to think that this shit is going to happen and it's going to be all great. I'm just super glad that the people in charge of the military isn't going to be a part of the bullshit that civilians want to create.
Yeah, because like you said, because at least the people that are heads up, the smarter people, the people that have been to Afghanistan and Iraq and places like that, they've seen what goes on. And also, like, when people, like you said, when they talk about things like Civil War, you know, when the last Civil War happened, do you want to compare technologies of 2021 compared to the 18 fucking hundreds, guys?
And this is what people don't get. And just, I'm telling you, like, when you get a chance, do a little bit of research on how many people died and how brutal the war was. And imagine that war was fought with muskets and fucking, you know, like muskets and fucking rocks being thrown and Bowie knives and shit. Like, imagine that the technology then is vastly inferior to the technology now.
And
understand that.
Like, also, another fuck factor no one talks about is, let's break down the population of America back then versus now. Remember, guys, almost 400 million fucking people. Like, okay.
That's crazy.
But, no, good talk. But just said that just came down to overall. So going back to initially starting this with saying the YouTube thing, and like I said, I told Selena this, that I'm never advocating, I would never honestly care enough, but hop on a Twitch stream or Instagram or even a Facebook Live thing and start harassing people. But, you know, so we expected that if we get 1,000 viewers or fucking 5,000 subscribers, whatever the case may be, I'm expecting fucking backlash.
Yo, and this is the thing. Like, I'm telling you right now, yo, the amount of, like, I know we might get, you know, a small following of people that are going to be like, yeah, we like the podcast or whatever, but I promise you, we're going to get a lot of hate. And I'm here for it, because I know that it comes with the territory. Like, I don't expect people to love everything I say. I don't expect people to like fucking 90% of the shit I say. I am at a place where I'm comfortable with shit that I've said. And if I'm wrong and you could show me that I'm wrong, I promise you I'm open-minded enough to adjust my line of thinking. If I say something that's wrong and you say, no, that's wrong, this is right, here's the information, and I could read the information and be like, oh shit, you are actually right, I will adjust my thinking from that point on. I'm not one of these idiots that's going to be like, nah, I'm right, because even though you got all this evidence, I'm right. Like, I'm not that guy. Yeah. So
I've said that fuck since almost like episode 1 that, hey, listen, guys, like, you know, and Stern talked about this, Joe Rogan, a lot of people, people like, hey, Howard, remember what you said 15 years ago, the 3rd episode in of like, well, Howard's like, I talk for 30 hours a week. You think I remember when I talked about 15 years ago on August fucking 2nd, blah, blah, blah. Like, so we're only 75 into this shit. And like, guys, if I said something during episode 3, minute 10, let me go back and listen to it and get the context of why I said what I said for. And then I'll either apologize for being wrong, or I'm going to double down and say, no, I think I'm right. But you and me and anybody who's been down here at least has been humble enough. Like, I tell people all the time I'm fucking wrong about shit, and I don't know. You think I know everything? Me and Al we're literally two assholes in a fucking basement. I'm drinking a goddamn strawberry Mike's Hard Lemonade. Okay, like shit. What do you think I am? I'm not a fucking political commentator and shit. I don't got a fucking 200 IQ. Like, but we are entitled to feel a certain way about things. So,
facts.
Going back to the comment section. So, like, as I was telling Selena, because she's like, well, Chris, I should make a Twitch account. Honey, tomorrow make one. I said to her, if you make a Twitch account, I was like, you have the option to dress how you want. She's like, well, if I want to wear a low-cut shirt. I'm all for you wearing a low-cut shirt. And if you do wear a low-cut shirt, expect fucking to be commented a certain fucking way. There's nothing stopping anybody on fucking Twitch from wearing a t-shirt and a hoodie. Nothing, just like going to the gym. Like, we've always said it before. If you go to the gym and you want to dress very good and have a t-shirt, wear sweatpants, good for you. Guys could possibly still hit on you or say something, but it's less likely going to happen if you're walking in basically fucking naked and shit. Like,
facts.
And I always love, and I would tell her this, like, and I always love to this thing where, well, if a woman dresses a certain way, you don't have to look and stuff, and it's not blah, blah. Okay, fair enough. And if I walk around, and for argument's sake, I just fucking cut a hole in my fucking pants, and I have my balls fucking flapping around, just walking around casual and shit, you think at no point you're just going to see my fucking nuts flapping around, or how about hop on a treadmill and shit for the hell of it, and just start jogging as fast as I can, and just cut a big hole in the middle of my fucking thighs, and just have them just flapping in the fucking wind. You think no one's going to notice this shit? I mean,
and then be offended because people are like, "Here, your balls are out."
Oh, how dare you?
Dan, you think I could cut my crotch out, walk around with my dick and balls flapping in the wind, and then get offended when people notice it and say something, right?
Like Al, like this is not a me problem. This is a you problem. Why are you body shaming me for? Okay, if I want my dick to flop out, what the fuck is your problem? Why are you looking at my dick? And you're like, wait, what? Like,
exactly. Like, it wouldn't make sense. Yeah. Like, this is it's just the very core of the argument is that when, like, the girls that have these issues where it's like, I want to control every aspect of the world around me.
Yeah.
I just need them to understand, like, you can't do that. Like, you can't. You could put a certain outfit on, and in your mind, you could tell yourself, I only want the guys that I think are attractive to look at me. But that's just not how the world works.
Yep.
You put a sexy outfit on, and every guy is going to notice you. Literally every guy, even the gay guys that aren't attracted to you physically, are going to notice your outfit. And, they're going to notice you for a whole different reason, but they will still notice you, right? Like, everybody, some women are going to notice you. That's just the reality of the world we're in. You put a sexy outfit on, people are going to look.
Yeah.
Now, in your mind, you only want the attention of the guys that you deemed attractive or the ones you deem worthy, but that's just not how the fuck it works.
Nope.
So you don't get to pick and choose. Like, you put something online, your comments are on for people to comment. You can't control who comments. You could either allow people to comment or turn the comments off. Those are your options. But you can't say, oh, if this guy is going to tell me my tits are nice, I want him automatically blocked. When you build the algorithm yourself and put it and install it then. Like, that's just how it works. You're going to get those creeps.
I made a joke to Selena. I was like, as somebody who dated a stripper, and I was like, my girlfriend, she dealt with a lot of shit and she knew at any point she could have quit being a stripper. Every fucking weekend she worked, she had to deal with some idiots, and she was accepted as part of the equation. So I said to Selena, I was like, and no different than, like, say, OnlyFans or Twitch. And she's like, well, it's kind of different because they're selling perversion. I'm like, and you think girls on Twitch aren't selling perversion, honey? Again, like, you are choosing to wear the lowest fucking cut shirt imaginable, and you're also choosing to take donations from people. And again, I'll come back to, no, I don't think that if a guy throws you $5 or $10, he's entitled to see your friggin' tits. But also, on being a centrist,
you know what? I'll agree with you, but only to an extent, right? Because I feel like if your plan to make money is, I'm going to get online on a platform where the platform is completely designed for one thing, but I'm going to do this instead. And your plan is I'm going to wear sexy shit, and I'm going to get guys to give me money to see me be sexy and nothing else. Like, this is all they do is they're donating money to you for the pleasure of looking at you be sexy. I feel like anytime a guy goes, hey, I'm paying you $5 or I donated $100 to you, pull your titties out, I'm not saying you're obligated to do it. I'm just saying if you're not going to do it, then shut up about it. Like, you know, I mean, that's going to be wildly unpopular, but that's just the way I feel. Like,
I agree with you.
You're not entitled to show your body in any way, but why, if he's donating money to you, don't complain about it.
Because like two things. Number one, why is if some random stranger walks up to me okay, Al, you and me fucking turn the podcast off, we walk outside, some guy's like, hey Al, here's $1,000. The first thing in your mind is like, why are you giving me $1,000?
Absolutely. That's going to be the very first thing.
If some fucking any person, man, woman, black, anybody says, Chris, here's $1,000. First thing I'm thinking is like, not like, hey, thank you. I'm like, there's something, there's a reason.
Be very suspicious of the $1,000. So you're gonna be like, why are you handing me this money?
So you're on these fucking platforms. Oh, someone just donated $50 to me. At just the kindness of his fucking heart, he just gave a random girl he's never going to meet, fuck, or talk to $50, $100, $200 fucking dollars.
There's a very specific reason he donated this money.
So that's number one. And number two, I said, honey, I said this as well. I was like, do you have a Twitch account? She goes, no. I'm like, okay. I play Xbox. I have an Xbox, a Switch, and a PlayStation 4. I don't have a Twitch account. Big Al's got an Xbox. He ain't got a Twitch account. And I can go through millions of people who play video games who don't have Twitch accounts. I'm like, and she's like, well, certain people out there, they're on these platforms because they want to hang out with fucking friends and enjoy a good time. Okay. Again, tonight, after you leave, me, Carlton, Elliot are going to play Back 4 Blood on Xbox. The three of us hop in Xbox party chat. Me and Junior play Xbox all the time. We ain't got a Twitch account. So this whole, again, it comes down to, I'm just doing it to hang out with fucking friends. You can hang out with your friends while not being on Twitch.
Listen, it's clearly an excuse. It's clearly an excuse. You don't need a Twitch account to hang out with at all. Not on any gaming forum, any game platform. None. A lot of these girls, a lot of them, create a Twitch account for the sole purpose of making money, right? And making money without having any skill or any talent. Just the only thing they donate to it is, I'm going to put some sexy shit on and let men look at me and say and do goofy stuff and get donations. That's the game plan. That's the formula. Thousands and thousands of girls are doing it. So I'm not trying to hear anything about somebody complaining because weird, creepy men are in your fucking comment section. I don't care. Nobody cares. You don't want creepy men in your comment section? Turn off the comment section. Or stop doing Twitch altogether. Either one works for me.
Here's the most unpopular one. This will piss people off if we ever get to there. Hey, me and Al have been doing this for, actually this May will be 2 years been doing this. Al, how much money have you made off this shit? I'm just curious, how much money has Chris made off this? Every time I hear about, I'm just doing this for the fun, there is a section where you could turn off the donations.
Facts.
So, I'm just doing this because I'm enjoying myself. Okay, so you're not getting fucking paid? Oh, yeah, funny.
They're not doing it to enjoy themselves at all. All.
So, because it's just like, it's just about the gaming. No, me and Alex said right now, it said if a sponsor wants to help me, fucking pay for the podcast. Because again, the podcast, the website, I do pay a monthly fee to host the podcast. I'm for that. It's part of the fucking gig. Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, all these platforms, it literally costs you, and I'm going to say this very slowly, zero. It costs you no money whatsoever to make a fucking Twitch account or Instagram or TikTok. In fact, any 10-year-old can go make a TikTok account on their fucking phone. So I'm paying a monthly fucking fee to host this podcast. You have no fees at all whatsoever. So again, if it's just like, it's all about the fun, okay, then do it for free.
The thing is, it comes down to it. It's not about the fun, because for a lot of these people, if you take the ability to make money out of it, they'd stop fucking doing it. Right? That's just plain and simple. They'd have, if they don't enjoy doing it, they're not doing it for fun. They're doing it because they can make money.
I told people, because I'll get called fucking boomer or something, or people that are old man or shit like that. I'm like, I know, guys. I guess different generations where I remember an era where I would do things like play video games or fucking cook or just go do certain things for fun and not expect to get paid for it. Because nowadays, I so much as, hey, me and Al are going to eat 2 double cheeseburgers. Before we open up the wrapper, though, let me videotape it. Because the more I'm seeing fucking TikTok, all these social media platforms, why is it, hey guys, look, this is Chris. My cat just took a massive shit. Before I clean this shit, let me fucking videotape me sifting the shit. And I got to fucking get 1 million views. Like, it's amazing how the most mundane fucking things, it's like, who is doing things for fun anymore? Like, it's about the fun. No, it's not. It's not.
The internet just has changed the lives of everybody, because now everybody wants to be internet famous. Nobody wants to, right? I swear to God, literally yesterday, me and Phil go on lunch break, right? We go up to the plaza. Well, I'm not even going to start naming places, but anyway, we go to Subway, and I'm in Subway. I'm talking to the guy because I know him. You know, I don't know personally his whole life, but I've met him several times through going to Subway. Like me and him talk to each other regularly now. Whenever I go to Subway, we have conversations. And he's explaining to me how he's taking a beating right now because nobody is like he can't get people to come in and work anymore. He's like, the guys that used to work here, 2 of the guys that worked there quit because they started making videos and shit online, right? And he's got applications out. He's got advertisements out everywhere for help. And he's like, I can't get people to come in. He's like, I'm very understaffed and I can't get people to come in. And it brings me back to this. People nowadays, they want the maximum effect with the minimum work dedicated to it, right? Like nobody wants to, like, working in Subways, working at McDonald's is now considered a job that nobody wants to do, right? Yeah. And people don't get that. If every McDonald's worker, if every fast food worker right now said, we're done working fast food, we're all going to look for a more high-paying job or whatever the case is. Yep. You know what that would do to the American economy? Like if right now people don't understand the shit that, like, it's just so many people don't want to be masons anymore. They don't want to be carpenters anymore. They don't want to be plumbers or welders anymore. They don't want to do actual work anymore. People don't want to be mechanics. They don't want to, people barely want to be pilots and shit that you used to consider a high, like when I was younger, I used to be like, yo, pilots make crazy money. Right now, you ask people if they want to be a pilot. I was like, I don't want to do that. Why would I do that when I could just work online? I could just make videos and do, I was like, yo, that shit is insane. Yo, it don't matter. I'll take that one. That shit is insane, the type of shit that is going on now. Like, people legitimately don't want to work. The job that I work at right now has hosted a job fair. Literally, they've got one employee out of it, and they're attempting to host another one. And my company is not the only one that's going through it. Literally, companies across are hosting job fairs.
I was on. They only got one employee out of it.
Yeah, and they're trying to bring in more employees, and it's like, no matter what they do, like, people just don't want to. The thought of a regular job now to the newer generation, the newest generation, is just like, nah, fam, chill. We don't want that.
I just opened up in Mike some hard pineapple. I'm not the biggest pineapple fan, but I'm liking the pineapple seltzer. So, and it's 100% right, because that was I think it tastes.
Oh man, this is the hard lemonade
with seltzer.
It's got pineapple and I actually like it. It's actually very light, mild flavor. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, because I was telling actually, part of, boy, I could spend a good 2 hours talking about this, but the short version was, how did my evaluation go with the therapist or the counselor? And I basically just said, like, part of me cutting down was like, the Mike's Hard Seltzer, for the longest time period, I kept buying us, Mike's fucking variety packs and stuff, and drinking the bottles. They never put nutrition facts for some reason on the actual fucking boxes. I had to go online. I'm like, how much calories are in a fucking Mike and sugar? And oh shit. So the seltzers are like a third of the calories in fucking salt and sugar and carbohydrates. So I'm like, they
actually don't taste bad either.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I still think Mike's are better, but also the thing is, Mike's also have triple the fucking sugar too. That's why these don't taste as potent. But for what these are, I think these seltzers are pretty good. So. But no, you're right though. And this is that was part of listening to the guys, the Real Ridiculous podcast, episode 1, because when they're saying that, I kept thinking about how many times you and me talked about this. They're saying episode 1, like, damn, if more and more girls keep doing OnlyFans, then what if everybody's doing OnlyFans? Or Twitch or Instagram and TikTok. And believe me, if something happens with TikTok, there'll be a newer platform or app to replace it in a heartbeat. And that's how it's coming.
The thing is, the thing that makes doing it this way appealing is the amount of people that are successful at it. Yes. It's like, if 100 people try to make money for advertising on TikTok, 90 of them are going to be successful. So it makes it, when you see that level of success, it's hard to not want to do it, especially when you live in a capitalist country where everything revolves around money. When you could make a shitload of money doing essentially nothing and putting nothing back into the economy, like you could see how it's appealing.
Yeah. Because I know if Carlton was here, Carlton would say, well, don't be so doom and gloom and stuff in jobs. I'm like, well, and this is news story. I don't have the exact numbers. I'll pull it up in a minute, but I just listened to another YouTube channel and did find this out, that they were saying for the month of August, that Washington Post said we literally have record-breaking people quitting their jobs. Like almost 4.2 million people quit their jobs in the month of August. 4 million people quit their fucking jobs. That's not a small number, guys. And why are they quitting their fucking jobs for? Why are 4 million people quitting their fucking jobs? Because a lot of it is, why should I go fucking work for McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell and Walmart and blah, blah, blah? Because, make 15, 16 bucks an hour when I'll hop on TikTok,
Facts.
So, yeah, so that's all it is, honey. I mean, I would, next time you come on here, and I know you listen to this, and like I said, me and Howard, I'm never advocating harassing people or hurting people's fucking feelings or just but also, like I said, as an adult, my 14-year-old does not have a Facebook because I monitor what he says and does. And I inform him what the world is like out there. At this point, if you're going to be an adult woman and you're going to hop on these social media platforms, if you want to make, especially some of the fucking money they're making, makes me still to this day pretty pissed off. But if you want to make this kind of fucking money, you better expect a certain fucking stigma and backlash from people. If you can't handle the comment section or the way guys fucking act, then bottom line is quit and go get a real job.
Facts.
So that's all I'm going to say about it.
Facts.
So
you can't want it to be all fucking honey and lemonade. You got to accept the fact that the fucking weirdos and creeps exist, and you're creating a platform for them to come out and see who's out there.
Yeah. I mean, I made a joke to her, but I said with you in this podcast, I was like, Selena, and you know this right now, she is like, the past 2 days, Chris, my feet hurt, my back is sore, I'm kind of fucking tired. Yeah, honey, I know. It sucks when you have to stand up for 8 to 10 hours, doesn't it? And as I'm rubbing your feet and rubbing your fucking back, and I'm like, yeah, honey.
It's crazy the toll a job takes on your body, isn't it?
And then when you see your paycheck and you're looking at your paycheck and you just worked a 50-hour fucking week, and that girl that you're watching YouTube just made this month what you made in the past decade. I'm just saying. So. Yeah, so
it's a crazy thing. I don't want to hear, I'm just going to tune out anybody I hear complaining about it. This goes back to my earlier rant from a few episodes back where I was like, this is like the entitlement of women to say, I am entitled to do whatever I want and my safety and my protection shouldn't be my concern. Men should act better. Yeah. And I'm like, it's like, I just don't understand the argument. Like, if you're not responsible for your own safety, then why the fuck should I be? Right? Yeah. So why should I be? Like, why is it that men should be responsible for the safety of women that feels like it's not their problem to be responsible for their safety? It's crazy. It's a crazy argument. And to hear people say it out loud, like to hear females say it out loud, it makes me wonder, like, how did y'all get to that place? How did like, as women, how did you get to the place of men should not, like, all the criminals, the rapists, the molesters, the horrible men that do horrible shit, these men should just stop doing what they're doing? I mean, it's a wonderful sentiment, but the reality is, the reason that we get to look at these guys and say, look at these fucking monsters, is because these monsters exist. They're out there. They're out there in droves. It's like when I say to a female, at these college parties where these guys have a notorious reputation for roofing women, y'all shouldn't go. And your response is, well, I'm entitled to go out and have a good time if I want to. Yeah. I'm entitled to go to any party that I want to go to, and nobody should be able to stop me, and men need to act better. And I kind of feel like that is such a wild, irresponsible thing for you to use as a defense, and why you should be careful and probably make a decision that's safer for you. Yeah. Right? Because I promise you, as a man, and most men, I'm not going to say all men, but I'm going to say most men live like this. If we see a situation that we could 100% understand that this situation is going to be dangerous to our existence, we'd avoid it. Yeah. I promise you, most men are like that. They are those men that are thrill seekers, and then there are those men that are just dumb, like who feel like, nah, I don't gotta change nothing for nobody. I'm gonna do what I want. Those men exist just like those women exist. So I get it, but I'm saying 90% of men, I promise you, we see a situation that we know is dangerous to our lives, we'll avoid it. So when I hear somebody say, nah, I have the right, I am entitled to do whatever I want. I have the right to wear what I want and go where I want and do what I want. Yes, yes, you're right. You have those rights. Understand that having those rights and executing those rights don't always work out in your favor.
Yeah.
Right? And a sensible person would always say, if this is dangerous, I shouldn't do this. Right? Yeah. And I always come back to this argument about I could go anywhere in America I want. I have that right. Right? The only places in America that I can't go are places that expressly forbid me to be there. Like, I can't walk into any federal building without, being allowed. I can't walk onto anybody's property without being allowed. But for the most part, public streets, public parks, all places for the general public, I have those rights to walk down these places. However, I also have the understanding that some of these places are very dangerous. And if I go to some of these places, I could expect something terrible or violent to happen to me. And because of that, what I do, I avoid those places. I won't go there. I have the understanding that in certain neighborhoods, wearing certain colors could probably get me killed. You know what happens? I don't wear those fucking colors because even though I have the right to wear whatever fucking I want, I could buy any outfit I want. I could wear anything I want in America, but I understand that in certain places, it's dangerous to do that. So you know what I do? I don't do that. So, so when I hear these women say, oh, I have the right to wear whatever I want, you have that right. It doesn't make it always a good idea to do it though, So it's just this whole thing of women shouldn't be responsible for their own, you have to be responsible for your own safety. You have to. Yeah. You have to. You should prioritize your safety more than I do. I could tell you this from personal experience. If I'm dating a girl and she calls me in the middle of the night and she says, I'm getting out of work, I'm not comfortable in this neighborhood, my car is a couple blocks away, can you come get me and just take me to the... I would go get her because I know in her mind she doesn't feel safe. Yeah. That's a bad situation she's in. Yeah. It's the middle of the night, she's getting out of work, she's locking up, she doesn't feel safe going to her car, it's parked 2 blocks away, I'm going to go get her, right? In that scenario, she's making a smart decision. She's making the decision to not take a risk where she's not comfortable. Right now, I know women who would just be like, oh, even though I'm not comfortable, I'm going to go do this. And those women have that right. They shouldn't be in danger just because she's working a job and she gets out late and she wants to get to her car to get home. She shouldn't be in danger. Yeah. The problem is monsters exist in this world. Yep. There are fucking assholes and creeps and weirdos that will definitely prey on that woman simply because she wants to get out of her job and get to her car, not doing anything in between that should draw your attention, but those monsters exist. So in that scenario where she's not actually doing anything to catch a monster's attention, she's still in danger. What do you think is happening when you're putting yourself in a position to actually catch the monster's attention? Yeah. When you're actually going to the party where you know they're doing roofies. When you're actually taking drinks from random strangers without knowing who the fuck they are, when you decide that having a good time and partying is more important than being safe, because you feel quote unquote I have the right. Do your thing. Do your thing. Yeah. I still have your back. if you get attacked by a dude and if I so happen to be there and see it happening, I got your back. I'm on your side. However, I'm still gonna feel like this could have been avoided. You made a bunch of bad decisions.
Accountability. I mean, it's nowhere near the same situation, but
yeah, it's not. I'm being extreme.
Well, see, I've seen a video by Steven Crowder because every day they talk more about the whole Gabby thing and latest news because I have trouble keeping up with the shit. But the only thing I got the past week more was that they did find her body and stuff, and now officially the official death was strangulation. Yeah. So that much. And Steven Crowder said in one video, he goes, this is a tragedy. It's horrible. He goes, one thing that I hope anybody can take away with this. And he goes, I'm an avid gun owner. I have a daughter. I think she's 2 years old at this point. He goes, when she's old enough, I will be taking her to a gun range. I will be teaching her respect and how to use the weapon. And the point he was making during his video was say whatever you fucking want. But he said, and I agree with him as being a brother myself and a boyfriend, hopefully one day a father of a little girl, is that he's like, you cannot rely on anybody to protect you, and you can't rely on other people. And he goes, at some point, you have to learn basically what you're saying now is to defend yourself. And he said, if this woman would have had a gun on her and on her person in her glove department, who knows? Maybe she'd be alive today. We're not sure. But
I'll say this. I'll say this because this is honestly, I feel bad for Gabby Petito that it happened to her because that's a dude that she was with, even though they had their issues or whatever. That's somebody that she trusted and felt safe with. She never thought he would do that to her. Yeah. He's a fucking monster. This is. I want women to understand that these are the men that we talk about. These men that are capable of great fucking evil, like just capable of doing great violence against you, right? Like these are the dudes that exist. They exist in the world. They're out. It's so bad. Like these monsters have gotten so out of hand, right? That the other day I was watching this thing I was on YouTube, and it was a TikTok video that was created, but it was like on this YouTube page, and this girl was talking about this thing for women that they put inside their vaginas.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing has barbed teeth.
Yeah.
Right? And essentially it's if you try to rape a woman and you slide in, this thing bites into your dick, right? And there's no way to get it off without going to the emergency room. The closer is if you go to the emergency room with this thing on you, you automatically get charged, right? Unless you could say that, nah, I was at home and I found it and I decided to try it out myself. Like, no, they're going to charge you because no dude is going to do this to themselves. Like for, it goes on, it doesn't come back off. It's barbed, right? It's like a fish hook. It goes in, doesn't come out. And the wild thing is, right? I was thinking to myself, like, I feel bad. Like, as a man, that makes me disgusted that women have gotten to the point that they have resorted to this in order to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I feel bad. Because if there was a way for me, to do something or create something that would make women safe 100%, I would. Right? But there's nothing we could do. Like, as much as we try, as much as we say, I will protect the women in my family, I will protect my girlfriend. If I had daughters, I would protect them.
Yeah.
I would protect my nieces. Like, if any female that's directly related to me calls me and says, yo, this is happening, I'm involved, right? But I can't do that for every woman. No man could do that for every woman. Even collectively, when men try to petition lawmakers to pass laws, you get a lot of lawmakers that will just give you stupid pushback, like dumb shit. You never really understand why they're not really on board. But it's disgusting to me and disheartening that we've gotten to the point where women have literally had to create something to put inside themselves to stop fucking creepy, weird, monsterish men from violating them. And to any woman who's actually used this product and hurt a man using it, kudos to you.
Yeah.
You deserve props. That son of a bitch deserve every fucking shit that comes his way because of that shit. But that is insane. But like I said, my original argument is, listen, men are on your side. Like, I hate this whole thing that we got going on where women feel like, men ain't shit and men feel like women ain't shit, when the reality of it is nature has fucking designed us from a fucking genetic standpoint, from a fucking moral standpoint, from every standpoint that matters, to need each other, right? Yeah. Regardless of how you feel or what you're attracted to sexually, men and women need each other. That's just a reality. Like, even if you're not attracted to women in a sexual way, you still need women in your life. If you're like a woman that you're not attracted to men in a sexual way, you still need men in your life. Like, it's one of them things where we need each other just to function day to day. But we've created these weird bubbles that we decided to live in, where it's like all women are bad or all men are bad or these people are all scumbag, and it comes from just a few bad apples. Like, and I can't even say a few bad apples. It comes from stupid fucking shit that happens in society where, I don't know, dude. It's like we create certain little pockets of just dumbness, and people just live in it and just perpetuate it and just pass it on, and it never goes away. It's just it's a fucked up situation, but
like I say, it's just a part of life now. It's just like there's nothing you can do. But so like Ryder was saying, is just that I told this to my fucking sisters, my sister Kaya, Jamie, Jennifer, that love you guys. If I'm with you, I'll give my fucking life for you. I'll do anything I can to protect you. But understand this: the fact that Jen, you're in Florida, you're in college. I'm in New York. Big brother Chris can't be there. Jamie's at work. Even Selena's at work. It's something that happened. She called me right now. I'd watch how fast you can get down there to her place. But it's a fact that, you can't, and even towards men as well. But a lot of women out there, like, I need the men to protect me. We can't be there 24/7. We're not fucking superheroes. It's like at some point, so grab a gun, get a taser. Girls have fucking pepper spray, use that. But just say the premise is don't rely on the cops or your friends or family, anybody rely on yourself.
And please stop making dumb decisions. Stop making decisions that land you in fucking jeopardy.
Oh yeah, but that's where I forgot to tell you this more on the whole Gabby thing. When I was watching Andy there talking, me and Selena watched a couple videos about that. He had a psychologist on, and they were just breaking down different ways how people die. But yeah, when it comes to strangulation, it's just that much more because at any point you could stop. So it's like the psychology of that, because when you're strangling somebody, especially to death, it's one thing of like stabbing or fucking pointing a gun, but to strangle somebody to death, that's a very obviously conscious decision. But there's a certain like intimacy level, and like there's this desire, and like at some point, I mean, like what you're doing.
You're right. You're 100% right. Because imagine, like I can tell you this. No matter how angry I get at somebody, like if I'm angry enough to take your life, I'm probably going to do it swift. Because if I have to strangle somebody to death, I'm going to go ahead and say about 2 or 3 seconds in, I'm going to be like, I can't do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I can't cut off your circulation of blood, your circulation of air, to look you in the eyes and slowly watch you fade away. Like I'm not built that way. I know some people could do it. I'm not one of them people.
Especially if this was technically fucking, also they were engaged. That's what makes it even fucking worse. Like, so you're right about him being a fucking monster.
He's a monster, dude.
Wasn't at least the psychological aspect where it's like strangulating somebody. Yeah, like there's no defense against that. Like temporary insanity or something.
Dude, you literally you watched the life leave this person.
Yeah.
You put your hands on their throat. You stop them from breathing. You stop circulation of blood through their fucking the arteries on the sides of their necks. You literally stop however long it takes, you watch the life leave. Like the level of rage that's got to be swirling through you. You either got to be extremely angry or very fucking emotionally fucking like just unhinged to be able to choke a person to death. Like it's not like a bullet where you could pull the trigger and you could watch the bullet hit him. You could regret it, but you can't take it back because it only takes a second. If you stab somebody, it only takes you stab them once and it's like, oh fuck, I wish I didn't do this, but now they're bleeding out. So it's like, and you could try to save their lives or whatever, but if you strangle somebody, you're a fucking monster.
Well, I'm not going to go to Twitter yet because I got a bunch of just like when my phone pops up and I was pulling news stories, just a bunch of random news stories that I'll pull up my phone before we hit the Twitter world up. But this just had me laughing because it's not funny, but it is, because how many times you and me have talked about something similar, but the headline comes from India Times and it just says, here's a headline: Is humanity doomed? Because scientists says that right now we're in the middle of a mass extinction event. So, damn. So
this is, we've had this conversation before, and for a fact, we're doomed. Yeah. Right? This is, just from the standpoint of just natural existence, right?
Yeah.
We have had several massive extinction events since the formation of the planet, right? Yeah. It is only a matter of time before something happens that takes us out. And it's either going to be us doing it to ourselves or somehow nature's going to rectify the problem. What's keeping us afloat right now is the fact that as a species, we've learned to medicate ourselves as a species, right? Yeah. So it's like when we get sick, the normal shit that would have wiped us out, we've developed a way to fight against. We've developed medication,
vaccines,
all types of shit. We've found ways to sustain our lives. Like when shit like natural disasters hit, we will flee an area and go somewhere else, and we will still populate. Like we continuously populate, and that's what's keeping us going. And in every way that nature knows to wipe out a species, we've kind of found a way to fucking sidestep it. Yeah. The only thing that could get us out now is a global event, something like one of the great volcanoes on the planet that's been dormant for all these years that would go off like a nuclear bomb.
Yep.
If one of those went off, it'll fucking have an impact on the planet. Or if we get a meteor from outer space that has an impact on the entire planet, something like that. Or if it's not something along the lines of a global event, it's going to be us doing something that takes us out.
Yeah,
like it's going to be us wiping ourselves out. But it's only a matter of time because like there's been so many species that's been wiped out as time went by. There's no exception to the rule for us. We're just another species that occupies space on the planet in a mass way, and at some point, nature's going to wipe us out.
I've seen that before.
That's gonna happen.
That scares me. Like sometimes, like just how much our bodies and brains adapt. We don't think about things. Yeah. But there's been times when it's like, Jesus, yeah. If it wasn't for modern technology, like at 16, my appendix was taken out. Yeah. That's modern technology. Now anybody knows, and he said my appendix was 1 day from bursting. Had it burst, I would not be here right now, and that's only because of modern technology. I'd be dead. Like,
understand that it's simply us. Imagine how what it took before we realized certain things in us, like this, the evolution of like medical technology, like because at one point in time we were just like normal animals where your appendix something goes wrong with your appendix, you just die. Like it was a check on our species where at a certain point in time, appendix would rupture and just a massive percentage of us would die out because we had no understanding. And as time went by, we got to understand ourselves. We started paying attention to our body. We started like creating this medical technology to be aware of what's rubbing us out. And we got to the point where we could fight against certain things. But we can't fight against everything. And the way we are, the type of animal that we are, it's only a matter of time because we are a very stupid species. Like listen, no matter what anybody tells you about, geniuses or whatever, like as a species, we're very stupid because most animals on this planet are territorial. That's just a fact, right?
Yeah.
We take that territorial bullshit to the whole next extreme level. Like right now, we're on this planet and we're killing each other over this is my belief and that's your belief and it's different, so we got to kill each other. I'm from this part of the dirt. You're from that part of the dirt. We're different. We got to kill each other. My skin is this color. Your skin is that color. We're different. We got to kill each other. You're a man. I'm a woman. We're different. We got to kill each other.
Yeah.
You're a transgender. I don't know what you are. We got to kill each other.
Yeah.
We're that stupid. Like, and even though we're at an evolutionary point where we could understand each other and we could literally make the decision to just coexist. We literally could do that. Every fucking body on this planet could say, you know what, this war shit is stupid and we're fighting over shit that we don't even need to fight for. We got all this fucking land and space and shit. We don't got to do this. But we've made the decision, like we would rather kill each other than try to understand shit. Like we don't want to negotiate nothing. We don't want to talk nothing out. We don't want to make peace with each other. We want to be at war and kill each other over bullshit because we're a dumb fucking animal. That's just what it is.
I just thought about that. I was just thinking now with the whole like Bezos and stuff and Elon Musk and Mars and colonization, shit like that. Like, could you imagine as a species if next week if we stopped all war, what we could fucking accomplish?
Dude, this is
Jesus.
Let me say this because this is a conversation I've had with many people throughout years of my life. Right, there are points in the history of our species, from our days in the caves to the point where we evolved to the point of creating civilization. There are moments in history where our beliefs and our superstitions has just stunted our technological growth. Right, there, like if we didn't have certain moments in history where we were fucking afraid of some superstition that we fucking created, we could have been so advanced right now, we would have been on a whole nother level, right? Like, I could tell you this, imagine the fucking technologies that we probably had stumbled across accidentally and then just eradicated because of some fucking stupid superstition. Like, just think about the shit that we have no idea about right now. Like, there are things that we possibly could have been on the verge of accomplishing or doing that was completely eradicated because somebody was like, nope, that's heresy. Nope, that's fucking witchcraft. Nope, that shit is fucking magic. Like, and he completely wiped it the fuck out. We're a stupid species, bro. Yeah. As an animal species, we are the dumbest fucking animal on this planet.
I think the guy Ralph, listen to his podcast, he was talking once about science and faith, and like there wasn't that long ago that they said that the Earth is the center of the universe. And if you went out and said, you know what, scientifically, I think the Earth isn't the center of the universe, they'd hang you.
They would kill you and your family. Like, it would be like, yo, who lived in his neighborhood? Kill all of them.
Yeah.
But just it was crazy. Like we were fucking, as a species, as an animal species on this planet, although we tell ourselves we're the smartest, we are not. Because all the smart shit that we could do, like when you like, I think about like fictional shit like think about like Star Trek, where they were like, the human species collectively decided one day that we're not going to be at war, and we're going to put all our resources together in a way to fucking unify the planet and reach out into the stars. And you think of shit like that, and you realize like, that's not even far-fetched. That's a real thing that could happen.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to do that. Everybody, like, we are controlled by a government that wants to build weapons and then test the weapons. So it's like, I'm going to build this rocket and I'm going to go blow some people up because I built a rocket. I have a rocket. I got to blow people up. Right? Yeah. And that's what they do. Like, literally, we bomb the shit out of Middle Eastern countries regularly.
It's true.
For fucking decades, we've been killing people in the Middle East with new fucking rockets. It's not because we have to, not because it's something that protects the way of life of America, not because it's simply because these people created these wild policies, and now they've created these wild weapons to enforce these wild policies, and they're killing motherfuckers over there.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. Like, and I'm like, yo, it's unnecessary, the shit that we're doing. It's 100% unnecessary.
I mean, two major events that they're very popular, so I'll name them. Just think right now, just imagine if number one, Chernobyl, and also Hiroshima. Well, imagine if that never happened. Like, where we would be right now. Like, fuck.
It's, I don't know. So, it's just the fact that we've decided, we've chosen. We're like, nah, we want to be a species at war.
Well, so according to the article, with the current reason that we're all dying for, but scientists have found a key signifier of impending doom. They're saying based on algae and bacterial bloom patterns in water bodies, scientists are convinced that a serious extinction event is about to hit us. Changes in the algal and bacterial makeup of water bodies points to an ongoing ecological disaster. So it says, these changes are akin to what happened when the last mass extinction event happened about 200 million years ago, which I'm like, how you guys knew that, but okay. At this point, he said 90% of all species on Earth disappeared. So right now it's, algae and bacteria is going to fuck us.
And you know what's terrifying about our planet, right? Understand that as a species that relies on water, if something happens and let's say we evaporated the ocean, let's say we fucking set off a nuclear bomb, and this nuclear bomb ripped a hole in the atmosphere, and fucking all the solar radiation decided to flood in all at once, and our fucking atmosphere is gone, so we're no longer protected from solar flares of the sun, and our ocean, over a matter of time, vanishes. Now, if the Earth is hot enough that our ocean is gone, understand that we probably, have died out, most of us, at this point already. Like, I'm sure there'll be some people who try to survive and live in fucking places underground and try to, pump water out of the earth itself or whatever. But if the oceans was to go away, our species is fucking, there's really nothing we could do. Not just our species, just life on the planet in general. Like, Yeah, because like every creature on this fucking planet, whether it's like living in the water, outside the water, we need water. We fucking need it. Yeah. And at some point, man, just I don't know. We're just a stupid fucking animal.
Well, I mean, it's just like, I can pull up the news article. I know I can't stop it, but it's good to talk about it. This is at least kind of better news. Interesting, but kind of, I'm not surprised by this kind of thing, but interesting. So this microchip with wings, they made a microchip with wings, is the smallest flying structure humans have ever created. So engineers have created a microchip with wings. So inspired by the way trees like maples disperse their seeds using little more than a stiff breeze, researchers developed a range of tiny flying microchips, the smallest one hardly bigger than a grain of sand. I have no idea how that's possible, but okay. This flying microchip, or they call it a microflyer, catches wind and spins like a helicopter towards the ground. It was designed by a team in Illinois and can be packed with ultra miniature technology, including sensors, power sources, antennas for wireless communication, and even embedded memory for data storage. How can you do that to something the size of a piece of sand?
Better question is, why did they make it? Like, what's the point? Like,
well, they're okay. Funny you said that. They're saying our goal, which probably something evil, some Dr. Evil's James Bond ship, we know that, but our goal was to add winged flight to small-scale electronic systems with the idea that these capabilities would allow us to distribute highly functional, miniaturized electronic devices to sense the environment for contamination, monitoring population surveillance, or disease tracking. You kind of caught me at population surveillance right there, buddy, but okay. When it falls through the air, its wings interact with the air to create a slow, stable rotational motion. We think that we beat nature. Of course you did.
So why does it have to be tiny? Like, my whole thing is, you could have done that with a drone. Like, you could have done that with 1,000 types of fucking technology we have right now. Like, anytime people start making microscopic fucking robots, I feel like it's all about monitoring people. Like, or some sinister motive. Like, there's no good reason to create a tiny robot.
When he just said to like thing, we're doing population surveillance. Wait, what? Why?
Yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense. That's the only thing that makes sense. We're monitoring the population. That's the only reason you would create something.
Right now, like you hear some buzzing behind you. What the fuck's that mosquito? Why is a mosquito not biting me for? Why is it just hovering directly above my head, looking at my phone? The irony of potentially creating a new environmental pollutant while trying to mitigate the effects of pollutants isn't lost on his team. But they're trying to say that efficient methods for recovery and disposal must be carefully considered. One solution that bypasses these issues exploits devices constructed from materials that naturally reabsorb the environment with a chemical reaction. So, okay.
Well, when Skynet takes over, that's the way he's going to kill us. Fucking 1,000 tiny robots. There's going to be a dust storm that's just going to rip the flesh right off your bones.
Oh boy. I mean, just like, and that's the thing. It's like it's like how much really technology is out there that we don't fucking know about too. Like,
all the scary shit that they're still keeping secret.
Yeah.
We'll find out eventually. I hope we don't find out in my lifetime.
So, here's more fucking Darwinism and this is why my son, yet again, hey buddy, let's talk about TikTok. We just mentioned TikTok. So, oh, holy fuck, Al. So a little girl, she needed life-saving surgery after swallowing 23 magnets while copying a TikTok challenge.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, not even gonna hold you. If she was my daughter, I was fucking her mother up. Like, why is she even able to? I don't even.
And what's sad too, and here's the sad part, because we never endorse hurting kids. A 6-year-old from the UK is said to have been playing with the circular magnets at school and decided to take them home to make jewelry for her doll. Over the next few days, the youngster swallowed 23 magnets with her mother, named only as Tanith, explaining she was imitating a TikTok filter which recreates tongue piercings. Oh, Christ. So she did it with her mom. Oh, man. I hope CPS. So the mother was quoted by the BBC saying her daughter told her that the magnets felt nice in her mouth. Then she was complaining about stomach pains. Then she was taken to the doctor. So after vomiting for 2 days straight. While her condition did not improve, she was transferred to a children's hospital who diagnosed her with appendicitis. Wow, at 6? When surgeons went to operate, they found a string of magnets clogging her intestines. After swallowing them, the magnets were attracted to each other and formed a clump in her bowels. Holy shit. So, of course, the surgeon warned, ingesting magnets, damn ads, such as this can cause life-changing injuries. You think? But, oh, wow. So,
I'm going to be honest with you. Like, this whole thing is making me mad at the mother. Like, I'm upset at the mother. The magnets feel nice in her mouth. This is a thing she said out loud.
Yeah. So, of course, kids on TikTok are doing fucking magnet eating trends, because why wouldn't they? Jesus Christ. Let's see. There we go. Here's another one that'll make you laugh. That how another section of the podcast. Our species is doomed. So I popped up. So from ScienceAlert.com, enjoy it while you can, Al, because oxygen is going to eventually suffocate all life on Earth. So, oh boy.
I need an explanation. I need you to go ahead and
It says, for now, all life is flourishing on an oxygen-rich planet, but Earth wasn't always that way. And scientists have predicted that in the future, the atmosphere is going to return back to one that's rich in methane and low in oxygen. This probably won't happen for another billion years, okay, but when a change comes, it's going to happen pretty rapidly. The shift will take the planet back to something like the state it was before what's known as the Great Oxidation Event around 2 billion years ago. So it says the atmospheric oxygen is unlikely to be a permanent feature, which has implications for our efforts. But so another billion years will just be a methane planet again.
Yeah, like I said, nature will find a way to rectify the problem. Like I'm not worried about that at all, because I am definitely.
Because I didn't read. Of course, I copied the headline. I didn't see like anytime soon. Like no billion years. Well, in all fairness, a billion years from now, like fuck guys.
Yeah. Like, it's funny because there's so many things that are gonna happen where our planet is constantly moving closer to our sun. Our sun is aging as well, so it's constantly getting bigger in its process to fucking becoming a black hole. And in these two events, like, it guarantees that life on the planet at some point will be eradicated. But these events are so fucking far away that to say it out loud is like, that's not real. It's not a realistic thing.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, I mean, maybe like modern day scientists think to themselves, well, you know what? If my research can help civilization another billion years from now, like, I mean, like, it's, dude, you got some really great aspirations right there. Like, how about the next 50 years or some shit? Like, be kind of more realistic about this thing.
It's just sad. It's just because ultimately the best thing that could happen to us as a species is for us to die out. Because we can't live with each other anywhere. Like, even if we somehow find a way to get off the planet and move to another place, you know what's going to happen? All the bullshit that we do here, we'll take with us. And then you're going to have people like, well, we live in this colony, you live in that colony, we're enemies. Or, oh, you live on this level and I live above that level, we're enemies. You live on the dark side of the planet, I live on the light side of the planet, we're enemies. Like, it's stupid shit like that. We're always going to be that. So
it's too funny. Like, say we colonize Mars, right? And we start getting enslaved people. Then after like maybe 2 generations, there's a fucking way to transfer people to fucking Mars. You're born on Earth? Yeah. I was born on Mars.
Yep.
You're a piece of shit. Get off my fucking planet. Get off my planet.
Facts. Interplanetary war.
Definitely.
The colonies on Mars have decided they want to be independent from Earth. We can't let them fucking Martians be independent.
Yeah, and Martians and guys on Mars, like, just like the Native Americans. Wait, what? Hold on.
It'll become a thing. I promise you. We're that stupid a species. Like, we literally could make the choice to do all the right things, but we have decided to collectively, continuously, all throughout our history, make the wrong choice. Make the choice that doesn't help anybody.
I'm still an asshole. Like, I'll probably be with Al. Like, 2 things. If I'm going to be on Mars, the only 2 things I care about is what new delicious foods am I eating on this planet that Earth doesn't have to offer, and what Martians can I be having sex with? Like, you know.
These are facts.
It's like, why am I worried about bullshit like, you know, the color of my skin? Like, look, that thing has got 6 arms. You know the kind of hand job she can give you? Like, shit. Like, damn. Worry about this bullshit. So this was kind of funny. I am happy about this, but sometimes I don't like TikTok. This time I do like TikTok. That comes from the Daily Dot. She hasn't paid rent in 3 months. A woman was kicked out by her roommate and sent her stuff away in viral TikTok, dividing viewers. In all fairness, if she didn't pay rent for 3 months, I mean, but okay. 2 women packed up in an unnamed woman's things from their shared apartment, claiming they're kicking her out because she hasn't paid rent in 3 months. In the video, 2 women are seen changing the locks, packing things into trash bags, and booking movers. Over the video of them removing their roommate's things, there's text reading, "Girls' night idea, kicking out your roommate and sending her stuff back to her parents because she hasn't paid rent in 3 months." But
where did that happen?
Let's see. It's a TikTok video.
Is it? Well, you can't even tell if it's in our country from a TikTok video.
It just says TikTok video, yeah. So it just says and now viral. Maybe you can look it up because
I could say it depending on where she lives, that might not even be legal. Yeah. Like, if she's on the lease and if she's living, she's a legitimate resident. You can't just put her shit out. Like,
yeah, see, like
it depends on other factors.
Their actions earned them some backlash on TikTok from viewers who accused them of being too harsh. Posting on TikTok just feels like a mean girl move. You're wrong for this. Some people even warned that the women could get sued for wrongful eviction, depending on which state they live in.
Facts. So, depending on where they are, that shit is not even
I
legal.
approve, but legally you can't do this because it's considered wrongful eviction. Someone commented, at least in California. If she's on the leash, you're going to have legal issues, super legal. Since posting, they got, of course, fucking basically 1 million views. So the creator of the video, though, noted that she gave her now former roommate a notice. She also said she happily faced the legal repercussions of her actions. I guess we'll find out. But I mean, I just found it funny. Like, you haven't paid rent in 3 months. Like, here's the boot.
Yeah, people do that type of wild shit all the time, though. I know. Like, I remember when I used to. Not even gonna say that out loud. But I know this guy that had a place, and he had a tenant, and his tenant had stopped paying him, and his tenant lived there for 6 months. He wasn't able to get the guy out because he had to set a court date, go to court, and get him legally evicted, and then he had to post the eviction notice, and then he had to have marshals come get the guy out of the place. Wow. It's like, you can't just tell somebody to get out. You can't just put their shit on the street or send it somewhere and be like, you're evicted. That's not the way it works. Well, depending on where you are. Maybe some places you can. Who knows?
So I actually found this on my phone a few days ago, and you're the first person I thought of. I read this to Selena. She was laughing. She had her comments, but I was like, the second I popped this article, I'm like, Selena, I gotta fucking tell Al this because I gotta hear his reaction. And let me read you this whole story because this is, okay. It says, you will never hear from me again. A TikToker tricked into buying 100 Taco Bell tacos on her worst first date. Okay. So, she told viewers on October 6th that back when she was still using dating apps, she started talking to a guy who wanted to meet up for dinner. Red flags were all over the place, including the fact that he asked her to come to his house so he could drive them to the restaurant instead of just meeting there. When she got there, he claimed to have lost his car keys, leaving her the designated driver. Okay. Should I have just left him there and gone home? Yes. Did I? No. So, almost like Al just said, see, stupid situation, yet you're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So,
now, if your instinct was to get the fuck out of there,
yeah.
You should have got the fuck out of there.
So she picks him up. After the guy gave her turn-by-turn directions rather than just telling her where to go, they wound up entering a Taco Bell drive-thru. Okay. Another red flag, one might say, but she was already in too deep to turn back now. And again, at some point, okay. When they reached the window, she says her date leaned forward and he ordered 100 tacos. And you can guess who got stuck with the bill. Let me finish because I'm already getting angry. Her story continues from there. Because why wouldn't it, So, involving awkward conversations with her date's father back at the house and a narrow escape back to her car with 94 tacos. But it's a tale so well told that it's best to hear it straight from her. And of course, it captivated the internet because in 4 days, she got 13 million views. 13 million fucking views. Taco Bell at Taco Bell. This would be an amazing Super Bowl commercial. We apologize for the short notice. Plot twist, he mistook the dating app for Uber Eats. It's even the official Tinder TikTok account chimed in writing, as Tinder, I've heard a lot of bad stories, but as of 2021, this is in the top 10. It was so popular that even prompted 2 follow-up Q&As about the taco conundrum. So she said that Taco Bell employees didn't seem to mind the large order because they're used to that kind of shit. She had hoped someone, employee or the date, would stop the order, but no one did. Instead, after 15 minutes, they received their hard shell tacos. Taco guy himself doesn't seem to have come forward to explain himself or any wild decisions he made. So Myers did mention that here comes the rub. People have sent her money on Venmo, unprompted, to belatedly help cover the cost of 100 tacos, which he said was about $140. So said sometimes the internet is all right, and they reached out to her and she didn't comment by the TikTok video. So boy, I got to, because I have some fucking thoughts about that, Al. But what do you? I
mean, I don't have any negative thoughts about it. Like, I feel like she let him sucker her into that situation because, like, everything about that should have been like, nope, I'm not doing this. Like, you get, like, I don't know.
I'm gonna fucking say something which probably piss people off. Okay, like you said, number one fucking red flag was his car mysteriously broke down. Number 2 red flag, he brings to Taco Bell. Number 3, you says that he fucking reached over and says he wants to order 100 tacos. At some point, I was wondering if the date or the Taco Bell employees would stop making the food. You waited in drive-thru for 15 fucking minutes. At any point during the 15 fucking minutes, you didn't think to put your foot on the gas and possibly leave the fucking drive-thru?
Well, that's not even a thing. My thing is, how'd you get stuck paying a bill? Like, why? Like, if you, like, you decided to, like, I don't even know, because that entire scenario couldn't happen to me. It just couldn't. It wouldn't. If I invite you out on a date and the minute that shit felt wrong, I'd have been like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'd have just slid out of there without a second. Yeah. We would have never met. You would have damn sure never gotten me to come get you, and you would have never got me to take you to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And then order 100 tacos and then I pay for it?
Yeah.
You're not on your life.
And that's the funny part. So she said that after she brought him back to talk to his dad, she had in her car 94 tacos. So then you guys ate 6. But like, yeah, I'm just like, I'm with you, Al. We're like, if I'm with Selena and she was Chris and she reaches over, I'm gonna order hunt tacos. I'm gonna go over to the fucking drive-thru and say, hold on a second, that order was wrong. We're ordering 5 tacos maybe or something, or 6 tacos.
I'm not saying that. What I would have said was, yo, get his credit card right now so he could pay for them 100 tacos.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said. I would wait the 15 minutes. If you could pay for your tacos, I'll wait. I got no problem. I would hang out in the drive-thru. Yeah. But I'm not paying for 100 tacos. Yeah. That shit is dead in the water. Like, that shit is wild.
No, consider $140. That's a pretty fucking cheap freaking date right there. But the rub that got me was, of course, she's like, well, people were giving money to my Venmo account to help compensate the bill. I'm like, so just curious, how much money did you get anyway from people?
She made $10,000 for the fucking $140 she spent on the tacos.
Because considering you got 14 fucking million views and like you just happen to put your Venmo account just out there on TikTok for just mysteriously and shit. And like, oh, if people could kind of reimburse me, like, yeah, it's just like almost like, did the story actually happen or just somebody kind of bullshitting?
I believe it happened because I've seen stupider shit happen in real life. But I'm just saying that's a situation that she could have avoided from the get-go. Like, I'm telling you, man, whenever your instinct is to bail on something and you feel like it's dumb, bail on it because it's dumb. Yeah. Like, don't talk yourself into something when your intuition is saying, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Because I'm just with you. We're just like, if I've just never had a situation, maybe it's my ego or a guy or whatever, but like a girl fucking was, hey Chris, I just ordered $500 and worth of Red Lobster and shit. Now you're footing the bill. Like, what? No, that ain't happening. Like,
you know what she did wrong? You see, I guess it's, for guys it's different because
maybe
if I was taking a girl out, I would have already had the whole night planned. Like, I would have already known what I was doing, where I was going. But because I guess, I don't know, he might have just been planning to hustle her. Like, cause he lost his keys. She had to come get him. He had to give her directions to lend him at a Taco Bell. They pulled up. She ordered 100 tacos. Well, he leaned over her and ordered 100 tacos. And then she paid for it and then took him back to his place and then had awkward conversation with his... That whole shit couldn't have happened to me. Like, no part of that could have happened to me.
Yeah, it's just part of me because perhaps I'm too much jaded. Like I was talking to Selena about... with the whole fucking Tourette syndrome and stuff, like how the girl she watches is on Twitch and stuff, and a lot of people question, like, well, why do people make stuff up, and why do some people not take mental health that serious? Yeah, so with Selena, me and Al a few weeks back did an article about there was a girl on fucking Twitch that she literally fucking faked a cancer diagnosis. Yeah. Because so I was like, you can understand that a lot of people on these platforms are fucking scumbags. So understandably, people get kind of suspicious when things like that happens. So it's not impossible for somebody to be on a platform and fucking fake. Like, I have Tourette's when you really don't. So in this situation, I'm just like, me being the pessimistic person I am, well, I just happened to put my Venmo information up there and wanted to get some reimbursements. And like Big Al just said, I wonder, so what'd you make? 10 grand, 12 grand, 15 fucking grand? Like,
she made a shitload of money for $140 she spent on tacos.
Because, that's the case. I'm about to say, Selena's like, honey, my boyfriend Chris is a piece of shit and he made me fucking get him $200 in KFC. Him and his fat friend Alan. I need some donations to help cover the costs. Facts. And me and Al sitting there like, honey, that was a fucking great idea.
Facts.
It makes me fucking wonder, like, he's so abusive. You still with him? Well, maybe, but honey, you need to say that how fucking you mean Al went out and stuff, and fucking I'm just saying, fucking.
That is just as stupid. That whole event is just so crazy. Like, I could never. In no way could I have been in that situation.
So, this poor guy. Apparently, so his reaction was right. A food truck owner goes off on girls for opening his serving window on closed truck in viral TikTok. So, David Gelson says he's worried about how the viral video is going to affect his business. So, a video featuring a food truck owner's reaction to a group of women trying to open his food truck is garnering views and praise online. In a TikTok video posted, a woman is seen opening the window of a taxi cab burger food truck after it was already closed. So, let's see. Not much more to start. So, apparently, it's okay. His truck was fucking closed. He opened up his window and he went off on him, and he's just getting praised for that. Like, I mean, if his shit was closed, why are you opening up his fucking window for?
Sometimes you gotta spaz out on a person.
Yeah, there's just more to the story, so.
It probably is, but it's just one of them weird things where you got to get the whole story to.
Yeah, I wish there was more. But hey, this came from Yahoo News, Al. You just mentioned the fucking underwater thing. So largest underwater eruption on record, spawned a brand new volcano. Oh, great. So on May 10, 2018, seismic rumbles began between the Eastern African and Madagascar rifts, culminating in a magnitude 5.8 earthquake 5 days later. Shortly after, researchers became aware that a volcanic event had occurred 50 kilometers off the eastern coast of the French territory Mayotte, situated between Africa's east coast and northern Madagascar. A team investigated a few months later. They found a brand new volcano, one that hadn't been there before the earthquake. This is the largest active submarine eruption ever documented. Wow. The seismic activity is what spawned the new mountain, which rises 800 meters from the seafloor. Holy shit. The new feature will help scientists better understand what happens in the earth. The mountain isn't the only thing the French team discovered. When they began their survey in 2019, several seismometers and sonar were used to take measurements. So, between February and May of 2019, 17,000 seismic events ranging in depth from 20 to 50 kilometers below the seafloor were recorded. Holy shit. So yeah, there's a brand new fucking volcano.
It's one of them things where nature is just going to keep happening regardless if we're paying attention or not.
Yeah. So, Chop pulled the fucking one of the last articles about the business. Yeah. So it came from CNN Business, but yep, a record number of Americans are quitting their jobs. So 4.3 million people quit in August. Holy shit. So about 3% of the workforce quit just in August. That's up from 2.7% in July. So, yep. This marks the highest quit job rate since the report back in 2000. So it's in 21 years, this is the record-breaking fucking people quitting their jobs. Jesus Christ. The number of workers who quit rose by another 200,000 from July. So I don't know what's going on.
You know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, really.
You know exactly what's happening.
It says,
here.
If you're unhappy, it says the number of people who quit rose in accommodation and food services, wholesale trade, and state and local government education. If you're unhappy with your job or want a raise, in the current environment, it's pretty easy to find a new one. We're seeing people vote with their feet. Jesus. Companies continue to grapple with a serious worker shortage. Job openings remained very high at the end of August at 10 million jobs that were open, fucking vacant. Jesus. Yeah.
People don't want to work no more.
The number of job openings in July was revised higher at 11 million. Jesus, a record high. The golden age for workers. Yep. Says Joe Brucelis, chief economist at RSM, said this may be witnessing the start of what might eventually be considered the golden age for the American worker. The American worker is now confident that he or she has the bargaining power to obtain a reasonable wage and have influence over the shape of working conditions. The bargaining power comes from their willingness to quit jobs that they don't like and just look for new ones. So, but I don't know. Like I said, it must be differences in like bills. Because like I said, I can't tomorrow quit my fucking job right now. I just don't based on my fucking bills. So I'm not sure what kind of bills you guys got reading this up and just like, yeah, I'll quit tomorrow and get a new one next week or next month when I feel like it. So
right now, because of the demand for fucking workers, you could actually quit your job and have another job, but it just depends on what you want to do.
Yeah, well, in terms of like pay though, I guess I'm so spoiled about having company seniority and how much I make right now and shit. So, but I think the final two news articles I'll cover before we head out and shit, because I got a bunch of stuff on Twitter. So I'm sure I've been texting you every day about this, and I hope that more people on YouTube will get a hold of it and things like that. But it's literally since, it's been 2 weeks now since his special came out, and literally every fucking day. To the point I made a comment on a Joe Rogan fan page, like, you know what, guys? I've watched Dave's special 3 times now, and the aftermath and backlash from people, the reactions, I find more comical than the actual fucking special itself. The way people are fucking flipping out about that. So, first Netflix, they suspended a person who tweeted about fucking his special. And that's the thing. It's like, we've said fucking from day one that I have no problem with people having an opinion. Al doesn't. I don't think that if you say I don't like something, you should be suspended over that stuff 100%. Like you have the fucking right to sit there and say, I don't like something, and you shouldn't have any kind of backlash from your company, your boss, your employer for saying I dislike something. The problem is when you start doing stuff that's like fucking messing up freaking corporate stuff. So this first person they got suspended for, and Ted Sarandos has been very vocal the past week. Ted Sarandos is the co-CEO of Netflix. This one person that just walked into a fucking meeting and stuff. Now, me and Al, like most fucking people, work at a company. We are low-level fucking employees at freaking best. There's corporate people, there's fucking bosses and CEOs and blah, blah. There's meetings that take place all the fucking time that have nothing to do with us. If tomorrow me and Al just walk into a corporate meeting with the door shut and kick the fucking doors open saying, well, we demand you guys talk to us, watch how fast we're escorted off the fucking premises.
You kick in the board. A meeting with the board of directors, like, we demand to be listened to. See how fast our jobs are taken away.
Yeah. So this fucking person was a trans person, and of course that was, on social media blasting Netflix as always, and was just pissed off, and then they wound up getting suspended because he or she just fucking barged into a meeting and shit. So now I never heard this person. Maybe you do, Al. Maybe you have, but there's this person named Hannah Gadsby. So I never heard, but Hannah Gadsby became one of the biggest stand-up stars a few years ago after the release of her Netflix special, Nanette, which in a lot of ways redefined stand-up comedy. She followed that up with another successful Netflix special, Douglas, which solidified her position in the upper echelon of stand-up. Okay. Now, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos found out the hard way this week when he unwisely referenced Gadsby in defense of the streaming service's diverse content while defending Dave Chapelle. So, his quote was, "We have sex education, Orange is the New Black, Control Z, Hannah, Gadsby, and Dave Chapelle all on Netflix. Key to this is increasing diversity on the content itself." So the point Ted Sarandos was saying is like, we have Netflix is the biggest company, not in America, globally. They're the biggest fucking streaming service on the planet. They have hundreds of millions of fucking people that watch it and work for them. So the point he was making is like, everybody works for Netflix. We don't fuck discriminate. This is why I found funny, which I think, Al, this is more of the entitlement in social media age. So, she put on her Instagram, "Hey Ted Sarandos," she wrote on Instagram, "Just a quick note to let you know that I would prefer if you didn't drag my name into your mess. Now I have to deal with even more of the hate and anger that Dave Chappelle's fans like to unleash on me every time Dave gets $20 million to process his emotionally stunted view of the world. You didn't pay me nearly enough money to deal with the real-world consequences of the hate speech dog whistling you refuse to acknowledge. Ted, fuck you and your immoral algorithm cult. I do shits with more backbone than you. That's just a joke. I definitely didn't cross the line because there isn't one." Now, just real quick, again, I know everyone has opinions. I'm not going to be stupid enough to, on here, name that. I know who it is. I've met him a couple times. I know who the CEO is of my company. Al does as well. Just curious, Al, again. Tomorrow, Al, hop on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Hey, blase blah. Go fuck yourself. Just to tell our CEO, hey, fuck you, and I have a bigger backbone than you. Just curious what might happen the next day or that same day. Boy. So
I don't know. So, she's mad at the CEO at Netflix for mentioning her.
Yeah.
She's saying that she's dealing with backlash.
Yeah. And it came down to, so the final thing was that, so they did find, and now Netflix, and this is another problem that I have with this entitlement generation and age, is that they found the employee, so an employee leaked out, and this is the fucking issue. Again, go on social media, have an opinion, say you don't like fucking Chappelle special, say you dislike it or like it, whatever. But an employee came out there and they leaked the information of how much money Dave Chapelle got paid for the special. Now, the thing is, it was reported by Dave himself and Netflix in the past. His first 3 specials, he was paid $20 million a special. The current special, he was paid like $24.1 million. The thing is, the employee got fired because why? It's not your fucking place to tell anybody how much Netflix paid Dave Chapelle. Facts. Now, if he wanted to say it himself, awesome. If Netflix want to say it themselves, awesome. But you as an employee have no fucking right to leak out what Dave Chapelle got fucking paid. Because like the guys watching YouTube, Yellow Flash was saying, now what happens is this asshole right here is saying, well, you know what? I'm a stand-up comic. Dave is a stand-up comic. Why did Dave Chapelle get $20 million and I didn't get paid $20 million fucking dollars?
You know what? Anybody in the industry understands that in the entertainment industry, your value, what you get paid, is based on what they could reasonably assume you will draw into. Like, the reason that people make movies and pay popular celebrities to be in those movies is because the likelihood is if you put Robert Downey Jr. in a movie,
Yeah.
people will go watch it, as opposed to a nameless somebody that nobody knows.
Yes.
You know? So it's like, unless your status as a comedian and your popularity as a celebrity is on the same level as Dave, and you can't just automatically assume you should be paid the same. Regardless of how good you are as a comedian, you've got to be able to draw in people. Like, Netflix knows if we put out a Dave Chapelle special, the world is going to watch it. If you're not on that level, then don't try to compare yourself monetarily to what you should be paid based on what he's paid.
Exactly.
But that's the problem that it's like, I remember back when Monique was having the issue of what she wanted to be paid. And I don't want to knock Monique. In all honesty, I feel like if she feels like she's worth more and she wants to fight that fight, that's fine. That's on her. But at the same time, understand that everybody's looking at it from their own personal perspective, right? And honestly, just because you put a Monique special on Netflix, it doesn't mean the world is going to watch. Yeah. The world isn't as interested in Monique today as they were 10, 15 years ago. So are you going to draw the same level of people to watch your special as like a Dave Chapelle is? So it's unfair for people to automatically say, well, we do the same thing, so we should be paid the same. That's just not the way it works.
Yeah. And that's what it pisses you off though with the fucking narrative, because Monique tried bringing the race card and stuff. People are saying that, again, if you look at Dave Chapelle, it's so this person's like, now what the whole fuck is, everything is anti-trans, this anti-trans, that, Dave this, Dave that. Well, Dave is transphobic and stuff. I'm a trans person. I had a comedy special. Do you hate fucking trans people? This is why you're paying. Yeah, okay, that's the fucking reason. But
there are trans comedians on Netflix right now. You literally could go on Netflix and there are trans comedians. So how could you, if you're claiming that Netflix is anti-trans, then why are there so many gay and trans movies on Netflix?
Yeah.
Why are there so many trans stand-up comedians on Netflix? Why, if they're so anti-trans and anti-LGBTQ, why are there so many fucking LGBTQ positive movies on Netflix? Yeah. Like, explain it to me. Like, it's the wrong fight to take up, because you're trying to call people, like, you're trying to say they're anti-LGBTQ, and they've got so much shit on the forum that supports the LGBTQ. Yeah. So how is this? How are you making the argument? Exactly. It's like I said it last episode, and I stand by it. Nobody's watching Dave Chappelle's special coming away from that special mad at trans people. Nobody. Yeah. Like, I'm not watching the special and feeling like I got to go out and fight a trans person, or trans people don't deserve rights, because that's not what I got from it. Like, what I got from it is, he feels just as attacked as they feel, and he wants to come to the table and have a discussion. This is what I took away from it, right? He's done stuff for a trans person that the trans community basically harassed until they kill themselves.
Yeah.
So when I take those things into consideration, explain to me who's really transphobic.
That's what's funny, because you said that, and I told Selena this, and when Carlton were here, and I'm like, I'm 100%, I was thinking it, but you said it first. I'm glad you said it. And the first thing, as I was watching the special, as Dave's saying this, and eventually comes down to, well, this person who wound up killing himself. I'm with you, Al. I would have been the fucking first person over fucking Twitter saying, hey, you motherfuckers, remember this person that's part of your fucking group, and you bullied this person till they fucking killed themselves?
That would have been the first thing I said, and he didn't even go there.
No, he didn't. Exactly.
I was like, I would have been like, you motherfuckers harassed this person that's part of your own community because they didn't go along with the bullshit narrative you were pushing. Yep. You guys wanted to be anti-Dave Chapelle, and this person was like, nah, Dave Chapelle is a good person. He doesn't do the things you're saying he's doing. And your response was to harass this person until they killed themselves.
Yeah.
These are the people in the community that's saying Dave is against the community. Yep. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
And in fact, again, and I said this since the second I watched it, well, he set up a trust fund for this person's child. What have you done for this person's kid?
Absolutely fucking nothing. After they harassed her to death, they did nothing for it.
So, but that's, of course, that's the fucking narrative. So it's like, because this was the part what Ted Sarandos was saying. He goes, I watched Dave's specials. I support Dave. Nothing he said was hate speech, blah, blah, blah. And he goes into like, hey, here's examples. We have these shows, these comedians, we're all about fucking diversity. And then you want to be a fucking total cunt about it. I'm sorry. But say, oh, well, Dave Chappelle got paid $20 fucking million and I didn't. Well, Are you Dave Chapelle?
Are you going to draw the same as Dave Chapelle? If I put you on a special right now, are the numbers from your views going to equal his? Yeah. They're not. You're not him. Yeah, because like you're not popular.
And Selena loves him, and I said I watch it. I don't dislike it. Just like I was thinking about this in the car before you came over here. That I'm glad that certain people like certain comedians, and you and me have been there. Certain comics make you laugh more than other comics. I watched and listened to the Bo Burnham special with Selena. She's adoring the guy and she loves him. But they were saying Bo Burnham next to Dave Chapelle was doing extremely well on Netflix, and he's like one of their highest rated specials and stuff. Bo Burnham got paid $3 million. You know, I don't see Bo Burnham flipping out saying, "How fucking dare you pay Dave Chapelle more than me?" He did very well, but he didn't do Dave Chapelle numbers, and that's the fucking point. Ted Sarandos came out and said, since we've had Dave on our platform, that not even his current special, every special that Dave has had exclusively with Chappelle's show itself, but his exclusive Netflix specials have been the highest rated comedy specials since the creation of Netflix. He is their highest fucking paid actor, stand-up comedian. Every fucking record Netflix has, Dave broke. So from a company standpoint, why wouldn't we keep him?
This is the golden goose. Why would I fuck this
exactly. It's like, for fuck's sakes, man. Like, I'm pissed Dave Chappelle. Like you said, the reason Robert Downey Jr. got paid $50 million for Iron Man because he's Robert Downey fucking Jr., you know?
Plain and simple.
Chris Evans was Captain America, Thor, Hulk, fucking Black Widow, Hawkeye. No one got paid Robert Downey because he's Iron Man. That's why, you assholes.
This is the thing. You have to simply understand that they pay certain people what they pay them because they understand the draw they bring.
And even
like you consider the fact of movies with Robert Downey Jr. that like regular movies that you wouldn't go watch. Like if you like literally if they had put another person in it, you would not have fucked with it at all. People went to watch because Robert Downey Jr. was in it. This is how people feel about like celebrities they like. It's like there are people who would go out and watch movies simply because you put certain people in the movie. That's the way that works. This is how people become celebrity. It's how somebody like Kim Kardashian and her family manages to control an entire industry of entertainment because they are who they are, and people adore them just for them existing because they don't do anything. They just exist.
Yeah.
That's how celebrity works. So Dave Chappelle is going to command a certain amount of money. That's just what it is. Yeah. Other comedians, even though they're good and they're doing well and they're funny, and also remember, comedy is subjective.
Yep.
So just because I like somebody doesn't mean you're going to like that person. That being said, if that person isn't able to draw the same numbers that Dave Chappelle is going to draw, how could you justify paying them the same amount of money?
Yeah. And this is every single friggin' business. Well, I mean, every entertainment business. Obviously, it's like, if you and me go to work, we make the exact same hourly wage because our company gives the employees a flat rate. But remember, this happened years ago, back in the late 90s, before he left wrestling, went to movies. The two top stars of the entire 90s was The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin were the highest paid wrestlers because, do you know the numbers and merchandise and fan base The Rock and Stone Cold were fucking bringing in? I mean, obviously, other wrestlers were making like 100,000, whatever, 500,000. They're getting paid millions because it's The Rock and Stone fucking Cold. That's why.
Plain and simple.
So, but it's just like, So from a fucking company standpoint, this whole entitlement bullshit, like if anybody in my company's fucking payroll divulged to the fucking public how much money I made, I would do everything in my fucking power to get this motherfucker fired. It's not your fucking place as an employee to tell anybody how much I fucking make. If I want to tell people, or if they make it public, like, you know, the company does, it's fine. But like, you can't, as an employee, divulge fucking sensitive information. So it's like, oh, they got fired. Good. And now they're still trying, before we head out, today is the fucking 16th. Now they're trying to do it. And another person got fired, as they should have. They're trying to do October 20th, a 1,000 person walkout on fucking Netflix because they're all protesting Dave Chappelle special. And I'm like, all right, again, boy, let's me and Al and anybody with half a motherfucking brain understand the fact that if I go to work tomorrow with Al and say, you know what, then I'm going to take 998 coworkers and plan a company walkout. Not only will I be fucking terminated on the spot, I may have charges fucking put against me.
Facts.
Okay.
You might be looking at being arrested behind.
I mean, seriously, it's like, and you're doing all this shit over a motherfucking comedy special that nobody made you watch. Did Dave Chappelle himself go to your fucking house, pull a fucking gun out, and then fucking duct tape you to a fucking chair and fucking super glue your eyeballs open? It's like, oh Christ, like now, and more people saying, well, Dave is hurting the community or he's hurting gay people. Like Alice, I watched it 3 fucking times. You show me, because he said you don't have a pussy, you have an impossible whopper pussy or a beyond fucking pussy, because he said that gender is a fact and that every human being on this fucking planet gets passed out through a vagina. That's nature, boys and girls. How is that anti anything? Because holy fuck.
Because despite what we know to be true, some people still want to. They think that their feelings should matter more than what we consider to be fact, right? And it's like when you show me the person, right, that, or you know what, I can't even say that because I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna make the argument about like people that were developed in fucking petri dishes or whatever the case is. But this is the reality for most of the people on the planet. We were conceived in the body of a woman. We were fucking developed in the body of a woman, and our birthday is the day we came out of the body of a woman.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. No matter how you want to slice it, no matter how you want to be offended by it, there is no exception to this rule. Well, there are exceptions to the rule. Let me not say that. There are exceptions. There are people that were conceived in fucking labs and in jars and in weird circumstances, but barring that less than 0.0001% of
5
the existence
people
of
on the planet,
that were born under those circumstances, the rest of us came out of the body of a woman. So, however you want to feel about it, that is a fact. Like that is science that cannot be disputed. There aren't like if you're transgendered and you felt like you were born in the wrong body and you decided to, you decided to change your body to be a female to fit your inner feelings, that's fine. I support you on that. However, the only way that you would be able to give birth to a child is if extensive surgery was done to install in your body not only a vagina, also a uterus, fallopian tubes, ovaries, the whole kit and caboodle that women are born with that lets them get pregnant and give birth to children. You would need that put into your body because biologically you weren't born with it. Now, I'm not saying this to say that, you know, people that are transgender shouldn't be, like, if you want me to consider you what you feel you are, I'm fine with it. A lot of people aren't. Me personally, I'm fine with it. I'm not here bashing trans people. I'm never going to be that guy. I support the LGBT community. My thing is, there are some things that are irrefutable. There are some things that, regardless of how you feel, they exist. And it's like, it's being mad at him for saying we all pass through the legs of a woman. That's a waste of your time and energy to be mad at that. That's just, why even bother? Like, why? Like, what is it that's actually triggering you guys? What did he say that was so outrageous that it's like we feel like he's targeting the trans community and he's bashing the trans? What did he say? Where in the special? Point it out to me and explain yourselves. And I'm on board to listen. Because I'm telling you this right now. If you show me where he was dead wrong and what you're saying makes sense, I would be the first person to come on this platform and apologize, and I would change my entire line of thinking if what you saying is accurate and makes sense. And, you know, I'm not talking about coming from a place of your feelings. I'm legitimately wanting you to tell me why this is detrimental to the trans community, to the LGBT community, why it's bad, what he's saying that's upsetting you, and why are you upset about it? What effect is it having? How is it going to make people feel like they should be against trans people? Or how is it making people feel like they want to target or harass or do anything to trans people? Like, because I got out of that, him legitimately saying it's time for us to come to meet in the middle, come to the table, like, and just the fact of what he's done for his trans friend. He has a trans friend that he's done stuff for, you know, legitimately gave her an opportunity at what she loved to do. Set up a college fund for her child and literally plans to give that child the money himself when she's of age. Like, come on, talk to me. Let me know. Inform me. Break it down. I want to understand. I don't want to just be this guy twisted in the wind. seeing you guys all upset and having no idea what it is that's triggering you. Like, I feel like an asshole for fucking talking about it without knowing, so I want to know.
Yeah. No, but it's just like, I said before, like, I'm not a fucking fan of Twitch or like half these platforms out there. But the thing is, I have the right to say, like this special. You have a right to say I didn't like Dave's special. I agree with you on it. If you don't like it, okay, no problem. Listen, I don't fucking like Twitch, but I'm not spending my free time writing fucking letters to Twitch's CEO. I'm not going to quit my fucking job tomorrow. I'm not trying to, like, burn the building down where the servers are located. I simply don't fucking watch Twitch.
And this is I 1,000%. I agree with you. I 100% do not support the people that get on Twitch and decided that they want to make money without having any discernible skill. Just wants to sit around dressed up pretty. Like, some of the guys, like, even the guys that are like, I want to play video games and I want people to follow me because I play video games. I'm saying I'm not 1,000% on board with that being a thing, but apparently it's a thing. There are now tournaments and shit. There are now game athletes that's making a lot of money for playing games. So, I mean, it's a thing. I can't play the game at the level that they play games at, so maybe it's a thing, who knows.
Yeah.
But when your skill is, I just want men to look at me, I just want to dress up like a doll and men look at me and pay me because they're attracted to me, if that is what you're doing, then I'm not on board with you. Like, I despise your existence. However, you will never hear me rally a group of people together and go out on some kind of plan to, like, tear Twitch down because Twitch doesn't remove these people from their platform. Like, that's never going to be a thing. Like, these people that feel like my feelings are hurt, so I have the right. Like, understand that what you're doing. Like, how would you feel if you said something somewhere and people didn't like what you said? Not that it was wrong or it was bad. People just didn't like it.
Yep.
And those people decided, you don't deserve to ever have a job. You don't deserve to live anywhere. You don't deserve to be able to pay your car note. You don't deserve to be able to feed your family. How would you feel if you were in that limelight? Like, people attacking Dave without him saying something that, like, legitimately endangers your existence.
Exactly.
Right? You are essentially making the decision that he likes ketchup, you don't like ketchup, you don't want the entire world to have ketchup.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're doing. You want the rest of us to be like, no more Dave Chapelle, and we don't get to enjoy his art form, his comedy style, because you didn't like some shit he said that isn't really bad. You just, because a lot of these people in the community are just triggered because he talked about the community. It's not that he said some shit that is putting them in danger or affecting their livelihood or affecting them in any real way. They're just upset because he mentioned the community. Yeah. They don't want to be talked about. And that's just not a realistic thing. I'm a black man in America. I don't want to be talked about, but you know what? I got to deal with every goddamn day being talked about, like, from all types of aspects. So I'm not ready to be on board with the cancel Dave Chapelle unless there is viable reason to do so. You want everybody on board with this movement that you have? Explain it. Explain the feelings that you have. Explain what it is exactly he did wrong.
And not to mention, it's like, what is, like, it's sometime I wouldn't even mind sitting down and talking with somebody that, okay, explain to me what's the end game here? Like what is your goal? Like, what is this fucking fight you're trying to win? Because it sounds like, for all intents and purposes, you don't like the fact that, like, some people call you a man or call you a woman, or they don't acknowledge what you feel to be. But what is your goal in a sense? Like, okay, so say, for instance, you take Dave's special down. What does that do? Because he made some jokes about you, but
it
like,
does nothing.
But it's like, my thing is, it said you could fucking beat me and stuff and strap me down and fuck him with a baseball bat so I'm fucking blue in the face. I'm not going to call fucking Bruce Jenner a woman. That's just not going to fucking happen. So I don't understand how that affects you as a fucking person. If you Bruce Jenner thinks he's a woman, I'm not against that. I don't care if you call yourself Caitlyn or fucking Bruce or fucking Marvin the Martian. I don't give a fuck, dude. I truly don't. So it's like, but what are you trying to accomplish? Because it sounds like you want the whole fucking world to think the way you think and agree with what you agree with. And if anybody doesn't mimic your exact fucking thoughts and feelings, your only fucking resort is take away their life. Because
let me tell you why that's really fucked up. Because this is the thing, right? Trans people, homosexual people, gay men and women, and bisexual people, their entire existence has been an existence of persecution, right? Where people were like, we don't like you because you're gay, you're bi, you're a man dressed as a woman, you're a woman dressed as a man. I fucking hate you. That's been their existence.
Yeah.
And now they're in a place where the world has slightly started to say, be more tolerant and be more accepting. These people are real, they exist, they deserve human rights. The world is moving along that path. Now they're in a place of, the world has now said you guys deserve the same rights, because once upon a time we didn't used to treat you like you were people.
Yeah.
We treated you like you were like less than, right? And now you're in a position of doing the same fucking thing that was done to you that you fought so hard to get away from. Fought so hard to get away from that bullshit, to get people to stop looking down on you, get people to treat you fairly and treat you equally. And now you're doing the same. Now you want Dave Chapelle banned because he said some shit that hurt your feelings. Understand, there are millions of people in the world that do not agree with the lifestyle of the LGBTQ community. Yeah. So would it be right for those people to all say, hey, we don't like this group. Every movie that's on Netflix that has them in it, take it off. Yeah. Any platform or forum, any way that supports them, shut it down. Is it fair for people to relegate y'all back to a place where y'all fought so hard to get out of? Because if you think that's unfair or just a crazy thing, then why are you trying to do the same exact shit that Dave Chapelle?
Yeah.
You are literally trying to destroy his career and banish him to a place of non-existence, of obscurity, simply because he mentioned your community in his special.
Yeah.
Come on now.
And he's on top of, he's making literally millions and millions of people laugh their fucking ass off. But also to the fucking point where it's okay, like you're saying, out here's hypocrisy. Well, you know what? I don't like fucking Dave's special. Cancel it. Okay. Now, how about 10 million of us say, you know what then? I don't like Orange is the New Black because it has a trans person. Let me cancel your shit.
Yo, I'm saying, what if everybody, what if the fucking CEO at Netflix says, fine, I'll take Dave Chappelle's showdown, but if I take him down, I'm taking every fucking showdown that has any type of LGBTQ relevance in it. If that happened, oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, how fucking world would erupt, right? So is it fair for you guys to say we want Dave Chappelle show taken down, even though millions of people across the globe loved the fucking stand-up, thought it was hilarious, enjoyed it, came away from that shit saying to themselves, yo, maybe it is time for an understanding between the communities. Even though that's where most people are at, that community itself has decided, nah, he mentioned us. It's time to go to war.
Yeah.
And then you can't talk to them because the first response is, you don't have a right to tell me what to be upset at. That's fine. You're right about that. I don't have a right to tell you what to be upset at. What I'm telling you is, before I let you take shit away from me that I like, you're going to have to explain yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to sit idly by and be like, yeah, shut Dave Chapelle down, even though I don't see what it is he did that you're pissed off about. Explain to me. Because if you get me on board, I'm all the way on board.
Yeah. And that's always the fuck thing, Al, because Dave said this, two things he said, which I 100% agree with. Is just so he asked the fucking whole group, and it will keep being asked on the internet more and more. It's okay, can a person who is trans or a person who's gay, a person who's lesbian, can they be racist?
Absolutely.
Because it's funny how many fucking times, and you're seeing it more and more. I see it on social media almost every fucking day. Well, I'm gay or lesbian, so I can say nigger as much as I want, or I can say faggot as much as I want because I'm gay. I'm trans, so I can say I hate spics. Wait, what? Hold up a second. But just because
how'd you get to this place? Just because you consider yourself a marginalized minority. Yeah. You decided that it's okay for you to be over the top. Explain it. Break it down.
Because Dave said, and it was funny part of special, a trans person or gay person and stuff, they are that person, and so now it's I gotta pull up the fucking white card to a cop or a situation. Oh well, because I'm white and stuff, I'm immune to these different laws or segregations because I'm also I'm white plus I'm gay or plus lesbian or whatever, and it's funny how that happens. But like you're saying, Dave is it's more than about. For me, it's been about not just Dave, but like I said with the Johnny Depp situation. Johnny Depp, Dave, people like him, they'll be fucking fine. But the thing is, and Yumi talked about this a couple of days ago, is that there is millions of people and there's thousands and thousands of stand-up comics that are looking to Dave as a Moses right now. Yeah. Because how many comics we've said for the past fuck 4 or 5 years now that comics are getting banned or losing fucking work. And Dave said it himself. They can't get into gigs anymore. They're getting their fucking TV shows canceled because they're scared to say the things that Dave is saying because he's making fucking jokes. He'll be fine. Trust me. Netflix has already paid this man $80 million fucking dollars. But how many stand-up comics out there don't have Dave Chapelle, his money, his family, his support? Now they can't because, like he said, taking a man's livelihood is akin to killing him. Yeah. Because now, because stand-up comics, boys and girls, they live on the fucking road. They are stand-up comics because that's their fucking trade. That's their craft. That's how they pay their fucking bills. Now it's like you're essentially firing them from their job because they have an opinion or they've made a joke. So I don't feel like I should be, me or out anybody should get fired from our jobs because we have an opinion. Like when you say things like gender is a fact or like I only believe that there's 2 genders, you shouldn't fire me because I don't feel like there's 675 fucking genders because you believe that to be true. I'm not saying you can't believe that, but I disagree with your worldviews. Now we can agree to disagree. I'm not going to call your CEO and get you fired from your job. And do me a favor, asshole, don't call my CEO and get me fucking fired from my job. But now it's like, oh, now I'm going to fucking stage a 1,000 employee walkout. Yo, Netflix, listen, me and Big Al could use a job right now since apparently, because I was even talking to Junior about the Junior's like, Chris, you and me should fuck call Ted Sarandos. Hey, listen, Junior and Will and Big Al, we got plenty of ideas for some comedy specials, bro, because apparently 1,000 of you fucking retards don't want to work anymore. Hey, you want to hire me?
Yeah, this is the thing. I promise you, in that industry, if I knew how to get in and start to work for this guy, I would be in there tomorrow. Yeah. Like, I'd be like, yo, I would have to let my job know that I've moved on to bigger and better things.
I'm very fucking close to, like, fucking getting a mock resume and stuff. Hey, Ted, listen, this is Chris. We got a little podcast going and stuff. And, me and Big Al, we would love to work for you, buddy, because apparently you've got 1,000 assholes who just want to quit because of they're offended by a comedy special. Like, and we said, like, how many things, you have the right to quit your fucking job. I do, Al does, anybody does. But on a daily basis, for the amount of money I get fucking paid, there is things that I can't even talk about that I see every fucking day I clock into work where I'm like, I do not agree with these policies whatsoever. But you know what I do is I shut the fuck up, I do my job, and come Friday, I collect a goddamn paycheck, okay?
Facts.
I mean, just saying. So it's like you're going to try to like rally a big fucking walkout effort. You're going to fucking leak sensitive corporate information over a fucking hour and 10-minute comedy special. It's like, yo, boys and girls, grow the fuck up. But this is the fuck problem of the fucking day of social media and shit and entitlement. It's like, oh man. So listen, the past 2 weeks, I've had more fun reading articles and seeing YouTube videos of this shit happening to you assholes because and all of us knew, and I told Al this, as I'm watching with Selena, every joke, every minute, I'm like, watch this joke, this joke, this joke, this joke, watch the backlash after this fucking special airs. And Netflix was smart. They put the special out at fucking midnight, and by 4 a.m., you're reading articles about this shit.
Facts.
Jesus
Christ. As soon as it aired, it's almost like they were like, Dave Chapelle has a special. They all sat up and waited for the special to drop.
Oh, yeah.
So they could start bitching about it before it was. Before I even knew the special was up, there was already 1,000 complaints out. Like before, I remember, Chris was like, have you seen the new Dave Chappelle stand-up? I was like, Dave Chappelle has got to do stand-up? Yeah, he does. But also, check these links out. I was like, oh my fucking Christ.
Exactly.
Shit.
I'll say it.
They were up in arms fucking by the thousands come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, I've said it before, I've said it again, that I'm a fucking massive fan of comedy, have been my entire life. It's the one thing that me and Al and everyone agrees with, like music. It should bring us all fucking together. And I watched Dave Chapelle way before Fuck the Chappelle Show. My father, I'll never forget, my dad loved Dave Chapelle. And when Dave Chapelle did this whole Indian reservation, casino stuff, Dad and every Indian we knew thought was goddamn hilarious. They weren't fucking offended by Dave Chappelle's anti-casino warrior jokes. He thought the shit was goddamn funny. And that's the thing, growing up with the legends, whether it's Bill Cosby back in the day, Richard Pryor, George Carlin, will fucking be here all day. Eddie Murphy. So comedy, it should be the one thing that unites us. And man, you fucking people, it's like every group in history, every group, whether it's politics, fucking race issues, color, fucking whatever, sexual orientation. Now it's just currently the whole LGBT thing. It's like, they fuckers, you can't make any joke whatsoever because they're just super overly sensitive. And it's scary, Al, because what you were saying is that No doubt, nobody's going to fucking deny. Everybody, like, Chris Rock said this once, one of his specials. I think Chris Rock's a fucking genius too. Chris Rock's like, everybody's got a gay uncle. You know, everyone at some point has someone in your family. It could be an uncle, aunt, someone's got somebody who's gay or fucking lesbian in their family. You know, no doubt they've been persecuted throughout fucking human history. But you know what, guys? So has every group, whether it's white, black, woman, old, young, every group has been fucking persecuted. It's nothing fucking new. But the progress you fucking made, it seems like at this point, you're doing a lot more harm to your own fucking progress by the way you're acting. Because it's like, they've definitely given you an inch, now you want a fucking mile. Now it's to the fucking point that no matter how much is given to you or is done for you, it's just never enough. And so if you're this offended by Dave's shit, then like I said, goddamn, do not fucking pop in any comedy special from the past 40 fucking years. Because and what's the fucking long-term goal? Because people can't say offensive shit anymore. So I'll wrap this up by saying that, like, whether it's Dave's specials, telling Celine about the YouTube comment section, the Facebook comments, Twitch and shit. So what do you expect? You expect that the world is puppies, butterflies, kittens, and fucking rainbows, and nobody can, people don't have the right to be an asshole anymore? It's hard to tell you. Guess what? I've told my kid this. At some point, grow the fuck up. Not everybody's going to agree with you. I've quoted Big Al this over the past 4 or 5 years now. Now, Big Al said this directly, that you have to understand that we live in a world that not everybody is going to like you. Not everybody is going to fucking agree with you. Get over it.
Facts.
So
that's just a 100% fact.
Yeah. And it's at this fucking podcast, now that we're officially on fucking YouTube, at any time, it's just, in all fairness, bring it. Seriously, I'm waiting for the fucking hate. I really am. And I've said this before, Al was my first person I wanted to start this with. Later on, we got people like Junior, my girlfriend, my cousin, but anything people fucking has said on this podcast, any time period, could have edited this stuff out. I could have deleted shit. The only time I edited stuff out was when at one point I would talk like this about Devin. and like that. I was so you couldn't even understand. I had too many Jack Daniels and shit. But I have defended anything anybody's coming on here, whether it's Junior's friend Molly, if Al has any future friends come over, people, this fucking platform should have the ability to have an opinion, even if I don't agree with that fucking opinion. But I would defend anything over the past 75 episodes that anybody has said. I'm not going to fucking apologize for myself, for Al, for Selena, Jennifer, nothing anybody has said. Like Dave Chapelle or any kind of thing, if you don't like the fucking podcast, you're more than welcome to press the stop button, turn it the fuck off, and go on with your day.
Facts.
So, yeah, good 2.5 hours out. I'm hoping like next week we won't have any more Chappelle shit, but as time goes by, the more I keep hearing about Dave, the more shit keeps happening, the more I'm going to keep reporting on it, because I'm fascinated by how much you fucking entitled scumbags think the world owes you something, and they don't. So, but, yeah, say your spiel.
On that note, we are going to sign off, and I just want to say my normal routine of protecting your neighborhood, protect your neighbors, do the things that keep you safe, keep your friends and neighbors safe in the neighborhood, protect your family and your loved ones, donate to your local police station, fire department, hospitals, schools, libraries. Do the things that make your neighborhood and your environment better.
Awesome. So, like, I know Al was telling me that a new friend there that listened to the podcast was like saying, hey, I know, like Chris said, you guys don't want money, don't need it, and I would help out with the funds. Listen, if any time period, if the podcast gets some traction and stuff, if a sponsor, if YouTube, anybody wants to sponsor this stuff, help out, buy some maybe newer microphones or help with the podcast fees, no doubt. But that's the premise, dude. It's like, listen to this, dude. You're a blue collar worker. I am. Al is. I don't want people to give me your hard earned money because I don't fucking deserve it. I feel like, because I'm literally just hanging out with one of my fucking bestest friends, drinking Mike's Hard fucking seltzer. We're doing this, unlike Twitch people, because I enjoy spending time with Al and laughing with him and talking about shit. I'm not here to be a fucking millionaire. Now, having said that, we've said this before. Now that the podcast is on fuck YouTube, if, the next month, hey, Chris, you got 10,000 subscribers, watch how fast I go to work. And like, guys, guess what? You're not getting a 2 weeks notice.
Yo, you're better than me. If we make it to 10,000 viewers, I'm just not going back to work. I'm not even calling in a 2 weeks notice. I will legitimately, yo, man, you have no idea. I would just be like, nah, I'm done. We're good here.
Yeah. And this will come to, like I said, now that I've got the YouTube, like the actual audio on there, I'm gonna start working on getting movie reviews and stuff. And I know I've been, like, Susan's like, Chris, you've been putting this shit off for the past year. I was like, Sue, have you seen my work schedule? Like, just me getting the audio to YouTube took me, like, no bullshit, a full 8-hour day. Cause, like, I don't know this stuff. No one's teaching me. In all fairness, I don't have the fucking money to pay somebody to teach me this shit. I'm self-learning this stuff. And there is plenty of information out there on YouTube and different articles. But again, sitting down in front of my computer for 4 hours, playing with fucking iMovie, playing with the iMac, learning stuff, it's a process, guys. On top of, like, I hit the gym today, brought my girlfriend to work, had to take my kids somewhere, like, cash my fucking check, things like that. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have 8 to 10 hours 7 days a week to sit in front of this fucking iMac and type shit on the computer. Like, I don't. So
that's just a fact.
Yeah,
We're both very, very busy and very involved with things in our personal lives.
Yeah.
We don't have the time to dedicate to it like other people do. But as soon as we gain some traction.
Like I told Selena yesterday, I've had the past few days off. I finally had a day off. And just me having a day off, look how much stuff I accomplished in YouTube having a day off finally. So I've said, imagine if me or Al had 6 months off. I said, you wouldn't recognize us anymore. Holy, the shit I'd have going on. So that's the fucking point of being blue collar, unlike a lot of these people. Selena said this to Junior a while fucking back, and Junior himself was saying, like, damn, he said, Chris, how do these people, how do they, they post on TikTok, they post on Instagram, they post on Facebook, they post. I was like, honey, when you wake up and all day you have nothing to do, nowhere to go, you have no aspirations, when all you do is sit home from fucking 7 for 23 hours a day, it's kind of easy to post all day when there's nothing else going on in your life, I'm on Instagram, I put up 4 fucking pictures. Oh my God, 4 whole fucking pictures? How long did that take you? Just curious to take 4 pictures, and to fucking hop on TikTok and record a 45-second video. Please don't strain yourself while me and Al are standing up for 16 fucking hours. I mean, I can't imagine the time constraints it takes to make, 4 or 5 30-second fucking videos. So don't get pissed off me, because yes, I'm sorry, I am busy. And
it's sad, because I could legitimately say, from watching what my parents went through, my mother especially, just being a blue collar worker, right, is something that I've learned to respect growing up throughout my life. And everybody I know that had, like, your fundamental blue collar job is just people that were hardworking, just wanted to pay bills, just wanted to, have their own house, have their own car, some money in a bank, feed their family, be able to take care of their selves, be able to just take their family on a trip once a year or something. And now essentially we can't even do that as blue collar workers. Now you got to come up with all kinds of gimmicks, because shit is just so weird and messed up. But it's just, I'm diehard blue collar to the core, and there are millions of us in the country like that, where this is what we know how to do. This is where we are, and everybody can't just be an internet celebrity like these people think. It's a weird fucking dynamic that we got going on right now. Where now being a blue collar worker is looked down on. This is the whole reason we came up with the premise of blue collar loser, because you essentially feel like a loser when you look at the way shit is right now, where people just shit on blue collar jobs all the time. Like the other day, my sister sent me this link of this woman who was talking about why she would never date a blue collar worker. And I haven't even watched it, but I know that when I watch it, it's going to be something crazy. And I'm like, this is where blue collar work has gotten to, right? Essentially, it's just shitted on. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. But that's a whole conversation for another episode.
I know, but that's, like you said, that's like when I first had the idea, Al's the first person, and mostly like 95% of stuff I do, I run by you first, and that's why I said you're one of the very few people where it's just like, hey Chris, we binged the entire 75. Al was like out for 5 or 6 because Al was fucking busy. As I said, people are busy, and that's why I can't continuously, hey, you haven't uploaded in 2 weeks or 20 fucking days, and hey guys, shit, life happens and stuff, and this is not disrespecting people that do this for a living. And I said, I've never been against making some kind of fucking income, but like some of the numbers and some of the things, like I said, I don't find anything I've done to be work. And this, trust me when I say this, I'm sitting here talking to Al in a fucking basement in a cheap fucking chair. This is not hard. I've done very hard things in my life. This is not one of them. For fuck's sakes, guys. So, so this will probably take another 2 weeks, because YouTube, apparently I can upload 7 episodes a day. And, YouTube, we'll see how long it lasts. I don't plan it lasting too long, but hey, fuck it. At the end of the day, if we can get more fucking people, if one day the comment section, people like to have a conversation, I'm all for having conversations, talking, bouncing off ideas. And there's a difference between having a conversation and being an asshole. If you are an asshole, best believe I will, to a point till I get bored of you. I'm very good at fucking with people, and I'm very good at talking shit about you, and I will do it until I get bored. But like I do all the time in the YouTube comment section on fucking Facebook. If I stop interacting with you, it's because I have better things to do with my free time than argue with someone who's fucking stupid. Like,
I can tell you this: Chris is giving you way more space than I'm giving you. Because if I come to the comment before he comes to the comment, you're deleted and blocked. I'm not doing it. If your plan is to be a troll or just be stupid or whatever, I could allow trollish behavior so long as it's funny. But if you're just doing it to be ignorant, angry, bitter, or whatever, you don't want to have actual dialogue, then I'm going to relegate you to the space of deleted and blocked, and you're never going to be allowed to come back.
It's my sick nature, Al, where it's like I love good conversation we have, and some part of me sick part of me loves the asshole conversation. Like I legit would actually have fun in some time online, like just to fuck with the racist. Like just please, by all means, explain to me where I'm going to treat you like the biggest, because I think you are the biggest asshole on the fucking planet, but I'm going to have fun with you and just try rationalize why you think you're better than any of my friends or family because of the fucking color of their skin. And just by all means, just tell me, fuck dude, why you're right for. And I love making people online make themselves like dig in their own fucking grave. I've done it so many times. It's just something satisfying about, like, I know you're stupid. You know you're stupid. I'm going to show the world how fucking dumb you are. And I've mastered this over years of just life experiences. And trust me when I say, I can definitely tell you, fuck you, without actually typing the words, fuck you. I've done it plenty of fucking times.
Facts.
So
I'm particularly good at that as well.
You really are. And I've got this skill before Al, but Al is like, I've learned a lot of good lessons from Al, things like that. So, but hopefully next time, so we'll get some more people. I mean, I love being out, but definitely, like, I miss my sister Jennifer, my sister's boyfriend, and I love more people. Like I said, our new friend that's got the Real Ridiculous podcast. I'd like to talk with him.
I'm definitely gonna talk to him, have him come down, have him bring the whole crew with him.
Fucking right, man. I
listened to their first episode. I'm gonna sit down and listen to all his other episodes, but them guys are good. They're very like, I could honestly say that on his first episode, they touched on topics that we ourselves have touched on, and I'm like, they're of the same vein, so I'm definitely gonna get them on.
And I said to Al, and we've proven that, like, we could have like 1,000 fans, 10,000, 10 million, but even like Chappelle, but there's plenty of people out there who feel the way that we do. But it could be just thing is, like you said, the podcast. And now it's like, if I type in which website do I host my podcast, good luck when there's like 19,000 fucking websites, And okay, hey guys, are you a comedy podcast? Yeah, but Spotify has, again, 3,600 fucking, it's just like now with YouTube, your friend's got a channel, we have a channel now, but again, like there's 600 million fuck YouTube channels, but there's people that feel the way we do. It's a problem of like, how do you market yourself when everybody's fucking doing it? So like I said, I would like to feel that over time we will organically gain more people and shit. So, but there's people out there, and it's going to take more time. Like we said, I never since day one expected within a year, 2 years, Joe Rogan himself, I've listened to almost everything Joe Rogan said, and Joe's like, listen, it took me fucking like 9 years before I got even like a fraction of my fucking fan base, man. His first 5 years, he had like fucking 10 listeners and shit. Joe was like, and that's how it goes. So. But all right, I'm gonna freaking go play some Xbox.
All right, we'll log in with another episode next week.
Oh yeah.